I
She could be
mean,
a friend.
Core Giximus could have been useful. You know, he could have been very useful. He really was just a nice little guy.
Suspicious.
I mean, we'll see. Maybe you'll run into him again.
Good. I hope so.
Why, are you going to try and fucking kill him? I knew it.
How dare.
Uh-huh. How dare. Of course. You would never.
Never.
It's to christen that new God Blade on poor Core Giximus the Destroyer.
Yep.
Okay, so we were in the middle of a fight with gods, and we got transported here to the Feywalds.
Yeah, you sort of you resolved ish your interaction with Heliod, with Dead Rose kind of diving in there and destroying the more physical form of him, or the manifestation of him at least. In the meanwhile, Harmony was on her own little adventure, as is the norm for Harmony, and she obtained some new powers that she doesn't quite understand yet. You don't really know anything about that. You guys don't really know much of anything at all about what Harmony was doing, aside from the fact that you saw Savas and Isengiri duking it out with Keranos right before you sort of got yoinked, as Heliod had transitioned into his more celestial form in the sky above the Tazarius and dropped that massive golden spear down onto the deck of the ship. And right before it made impact, before it made contact, Harmony yeeted you guys out of there, and you arrived in a strange location within the Feywild, where you ran into. I'll post up the artwork again of the character that you ran into. This sort of humanoid frog-like creature. Harmony can introduce you if you'd like, Harmony. But there he is, and he's going to seemingly be escorting you somewhere. Make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Otto is just confused. Like, can we start, or like, are we role playing?
Yeah. We are starting.
Yeah, what the fuck happened here? Things are getting good back there.
Getting good.
I mean, I was curious to see what was gonna happen.
We
Now
were
I'm never
gonna
gonna
die
know.
is what was gonna happen.
Die. I'm the main character of that ship. I wouldn't die.
Hold on.
Someone
Hold on.
has to tell the
Bird.
story.
Yes.
Bird, you
Yes.
need to update your name.
My name.
What do you mean Stagheart? What the heck is Stagheart?
You don't know yet. Don't worry about it. I'll read into it.
We were in the middle of a fight between gods.
You can go back.
Can I? Can you take me back?
No, I just said you can go back.
Well, if I can know how. Does anyone know how I can get back?
You just
I
leave.
mean, we shifted planes. I don't think there's a way that you can easily get back unless you know how.
The frog-like character who has been walking is just continuing forward into the trees.
Are we we should
I'm
probably
following
follow.
him.
Yeah, we're following.
Mr. Frog, where are we going?
He sort of sniffles for a moment, looks back at you. Just ask your friend. Turns back and continues on. Seems very disgruntled at the moment.
Where's Tank?
He gives you almost like a very low growl. When I received my wish, I couldn't bring Tank with me. Tank is no more.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You should be. It's mostly your fault.
It seems like they don't like her here
Excuse me?
either. How does it feel to be hated in two different planes?
Oh my
I'll show
god,
you
Otto.
it in 2 different planes, Otto. This is my plane. Do you want to play with me here, Otto?
I mean, what do you mean with playing? Because I can get into that, I guess.
Guys, we've got more important things to worry about.
So
You're right.
the forest that you're being led through is very, very thick and dense. It's sort of this beautiful color. I put the artwork up again. Very like bright blues and purples. Every now and then there's just like thick, almost cotton candy like mist that you pass through. If you breathe any of that in, for a couple moments you feel a little strange. Can't quite put your finger on exactly why. You're led on for quite a while. You're walking for maybe 20, 30 minutes at least. Uh, the character, have you told the party anything about him, Harmony?
Absolutely not.
I kind of figured. I guess I'd ask.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Harmony, do you know?
The only person that would know anything about anything
Yep.
is not present.
Yep.
So
Were you saying
Harmony,
something?
do you know where we're going?
possibly?
Is it?
Question mark?
Yes, you do. Do you remember last session, Harmony?
Yeah.
Do you still need me to tell you?
I mean, are we going to the palace?
Yes. Do you know why?
Nope.
So
Oh wait, to find his father.
yes, yeah. As he sort of perished, he advised you to seek his father.
Yeah.
And when you met your old friend Bluff, he advised you that your Dreamwalker Prince had left him there to guide you, which he's not very happy about.
He'll survive.
But yeah, do you want to reveal that information to Lazuli or keep it to yourself? A common
Just keep
question,
it to
right?
myself. That's more fun.
Yeah. So
I'll
what?
just shrug and say we're going somewhere in the Feywild. It's normal.
I don't think anything about this place is normal.
What do you mean? I came from it.
Just gonna look at Harmony.
I'm just gonna smile.
So you continue on for a little while. The area starts to clear up. It starts to lose that sort of whimsical color to it, become a little more of a normal visage. The sky becomes just solid blue, almost like a very quick, harsh transition, and you see the sun start to rise off in the distance. You can hear the sounds of birds and crashing waves. You get the idea that you're near the coast somewhere, but you can't quite see it through sort of the lushness of the woods, which do transition from that pink, bluish, purplish color to just standard like greens, and you see some red flowers, some pink flowers as well growing in the trees. It's a very beautiful forest. Would you like to continue following along with your unwilling ally?
Are there any creatures or things around us, or is it just plants?
Roll perception. Looking around, you get the idea that there are quite a few things out in these trees.
You're always
Ooh.
being watched.
I started out Saturday's session with a nat 1. Start this one with a nat 20.
Tracks. So, gazing around, just for a moment, you slow down a little bit and you stop and you gaze into the trees. Uh, you see several things moving about out there in the woods, almost following along with you. You can't quite focus enough to get an image or like an actual sighting of any of these things that are moving in there, but you know they're moving. You see the bushes rustle every now and then. Almost the second that you try to pinpoint focus on it, it just stops. Everything stills, and you feel as you begin to look away that movement begins again, getting ahead of you. Some of you hear things sort of like scratching and climbing up the trees as you pass through. As you look up to try and track them, you see that there are probably things up in the trees, as you can see the limbs sort of slowly bouncing and suddenly pitching forward as if things are climbing and jumping from them, but you can't see anything.
Does it feel ominous or curious?
Um,
Or unclear?
Unclear. I'd say go ahead and roll insight.
Did
Nat
you
one?
get a 1?
No, I got a 2, but I have a
Oh,
plus
great.
6, so 8.
Okay. Yeah, pretty unclear.
Yep. All right.
I'd say there's an obvious unhappiness from your frog-like companion.
Mm-hmm.
But whatever's out there following along with you, it's definitely unsettling. But there's nothing aggressive happening yet.
Yep. I'll ask our frog companion, are we supposed to have company along with us?
He stops for a moment, looks around. He makes a very strange sound that's almost akin to like a child crying, but it's got like a deeper tone to it, and he sort of like croaks it out, and everything sort of like rustles, and you see very quickly the movement that you'd seen around you very close begin to just very quickly move away further off into the woods. He looks back at you. He says, "It's taken care of," and continues walking.
Thank you. Keep following along.
Okay. You notice as you start moving again, there's something very small still moving, following you. Most of that movement that you tracked is gone, but you still, on your right-hand side, there is something still sort of slowly rustling, keeping pace with you.
All right. I'm gonna just keep tabs on it and not do anything for
Okay.
now.
Anybody else want to do anything on your journey, or you want to keep moving along?
Just keep him moving along, yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Don't want to mess around with the Fae too much.
Fair enough, yeah. So as you continue on, you start to hear sort of like the commotion of what you would expect in a town. Another 5 or 10 minutes walking, you see the sunlight sort of break through the trees, and you see an opening up ahead where you can clearly see that you're at the top of what looks to be a very large hill, and you can start to see the ocean out there, as well as some buildings coming up. I'm going to give you guys an image of what you're looking at. As you approach, the guide stops, turns to stand and face you. He has this large sort of mace that he's carrying. He sets it down and just sort of leans into it. Says, "Welcome to Cape Stagheart. This is as far as I'm going to take you."
What is Cape Stagheart?
You're in the realm of the High Fae King Oberon. Seek the inn. He's almost like physically rolling his eyes. Not quite, but he's just obviously doesn't like the role that he's in at the moment.
Yeah. Have we ever heard of Oberon?
Yeah, I was like, what do we know about
Absolutely,
this?
absolutely nothing.
What would Harmony know about Oberon, though?
I'd say roll insight for me, Harmony, because you're starting to like piece your memories together here.
One moment.
I thought you were gonna say 1.
Oh, no. I am pulling because the character sheet always, like, my phone likes to close out of it, and I'm trying to figure out oh, I have a +7. Okay, alrighty. And I rolled 18 plus 7, 25.
Nice. Okay.
Wait,
So
is that math?
Yeah, that's math.
yeah, that is math. Is it correct? Also, yes. So the name Oberon immediately is very striking to you. You remember Oberon as the father of the prince that you had spent so much time in the wilds with. Those memories are all starting to return to you as well, and sort of a big rush. But it's sort of garbled. You'd have to sort of sit down, collect yourself, and think about it to really focus in on those memories and try to recall what actually happened. But you remember Oberon to be the father of that prince. You know that he's kind of a standoffish individual. Him and his son did not get along, but his son was still sort of prince regent of the territories surrounding this town, which you remember as Cape Stagheart. You remember a little bit about this town. You've been here a couple times. You absolutely remember you didn't really like Oberon. You got the sense that he didn't really have a respect for you. But because you were associated with his son, he sort of, grudgingly accepted you. Do you share any of that information with the party?
I'll just say that he's the person in charge here. But we're supposed to go to the inn? Is that what
He told you to head for the inn, yes, in a very bored manner.
All right. Well,
I could use some
wanna
rest.
lead the
Yeah.
way?
So, moving on. Anybody else have anything left for your guide?
Is Bluff telling us everything?
You want to insight him?
Yeah. She doesn't trust anybody. I rolled.
Wait, when we got here, this guide was already.
Wait, you said inset? And oh my god.
Yes. Roll incest, Harmony?
Insight?
Yes, insight.
Oh
my
god.
So you get the idea that he's definitely hiding something from you. He obviously doesn't enjoy this position that he's in. You know that he was obviously connected to the Dreamwalker Prince on some level. It obviously happened after your visit, or your failed visit to the Palace of Heart's Desire. He obviously made it there and received his heart's desire, which was likely something to do with his new form. And at that point, you assume that he allied with the Dreamwalker Prince on some level, or was hired by. But he's obviously not enjoying this interaction whatsoever. He hasn't really looked at you or made eye contact with you once this entire journey. So it gives you the sense that he's obviously hiding something, or at least doesn't want to reveal something.
Okay, so I would know roughly where the inn is, correct?
Yeah, you can, with the roll you had earlier, you can definitely guide your way through the town. I'd say there's a few places you remember. You remember there's a Librum, which is like a massive library within the city. There's the Cape Stagheart markets, which are pretty extensive. You can find a lot of sort of wild things here. The Fey King himself, Oberon, is sort of like very well respected. He rules over a very large kingdom within the Feywilds. He's also very powerful and respected and feared. But his town, Cape Stagheart itself, is very centrally located within that kingdom, and it's a place that a lot of people travel through if they're seeking to move on to other locations within the wilds.
So could Harmony give them directions and then they could all go off? Potentially?
Do you want to go somewhere else?
Yeah, I want to interrogate Bluff.
Well, it's up to the rest of the party. How do you want to present this?
That Harmony would like to stay and talk with her long lost friend for a minute and just give them the general directions of how to get to the inn.
Okay, roll roll straight intelligence for me for a moment if you want to give them directions.
Oh no.
And then
You guys are all, I'm sorry. You ready for this? Oh, it's a 19. You're in luck.
okay, 19. So how do you all feel about this?
I'm not sure that I would like to wander off in the wilds without someone who's more familiar with them, but I'm fine giving you space to talk to
It's a
him.
city. The worst thing that happens is you get kidnapped.
Great.
In a realm we're unfamiliar with.
I want to look for the little thing that was moving on our right before.
Investigation.
Watch it be Corgixness.
16.
So immediately as you like turn around and start to look for it, you definitely see a little bit of rustling in a very small sort of piece of shrubbery. It's a very well decorated piece of shrubbery. A lot of the area moving up to this little overlook where you can see the intro to the city. There's a lot of like
Mhm.
very well designed foliage here, and you can see the rustling immediately stop as you sort of turn around and start looking for it.
And does it seem like if we keep moving, it's got a pretty clear path to keep hiding in that kind of shrubbery?
Looking at the intro to the city and like the area where you sort of like start walking in and seeing more of the city, you get the idea that the buildings are pretty densely packed, and it's also very like grown over. Most of these buildings have like
Right.
pretty thick foliage grown along them and up to the rooftops, so there's definitely areas that it could hide if it wanted to keep following you.
I'm going to walk over to the bush and say, hello. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Persuasion.
And this is how Lazuli dies.
16.
Okay. So you hear a bit of rustling for a moment. Something very strange begins to poke its way out of the bush. It almost looks like a lollipop, but it's sort of pointed like the head of a mushroom. It's like very light blue, very light pink, very pastel colored. Very slowly like pokes out and lifts up, and you see it to be the head of some sort of sentient mushroom. It doesn't seem to have a face. I'm going to give you an image of what you're looking at, and it pokes a very small hairpin-looking weapon out and sort of angles it at you. Not like
That's so
aggressively.
cute.
It seems like hesitantly, like it doesn't. It's still very afraid of you.
Yep, this is how Lazuli dies.
Can we
Definitely
help you with
mushroom.
something?
It makes like a very like clicking noise. Several like very fast-paced clicks.
Can I get any insight on like the mood of the clicks?
Inquisitive.
Okay. I want to look to Bluff and ask, are you familiar with this?
He's sort of like very with like a bored glaze to his eyes, looks over and sees the creature, and he gives another one of those like loud croaks, like a very low groaned croak, and the creature immediately like ducks back into the bush. You hear it run away, like scamper off into the trees.
What was that?
Don't worry about it.
Well, it was following us. I'm a little worried about it. What was it?
Look, my job here is done. Just go to the inn.
Harmony's
Friendly
gonna look
fellow.
at Lazuli and just say, "You'll always have something following you here. Get used to it."
It can keep following us. I'd just like to know what it is.
Probably best you don't know what things are here.
You can see the guide is like getting more and more irritated the longer you guys like hang out around him.
I'll shrug and be like, all right, where is this in?
To Harmony? Or to the guide?
Yeah, to Harmony. Because Harmony said that she wanted
Yeah.
us to go ahead to the end.
Yes, well,
Provide them directions?
Yep.
Okay. I'd say she gives you
How do
I
the
do
rest
not
of you
know
feel?
she gives you the
directions.
general gist. We'll see if you end up where you need to.
It'll be like those directions where it's like you turn at the yellow tree and,
Yeah.
you know, hop on one foot.
Look for the mailbox
Oh,
with a
the one
butterfly
at the
on
yellow
it.
tree. Got it.
So, are you all comfortable leaving Harmony here and moving on?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Why not?
We're pretty comfortable leaving Harmony anywhere.
Yeah.
God
Sure.
damn.
True.
Awful. Yeah, we can start heading, but I'm gonna intentionally move very slowly.
Okay. How slowly
Not
are we talking here?
just a casual stroll
Okay.
pace.
Taking in the sights.
Mm-hmm. And also, if the directions happen to be wrong, not getting so far on them that Harmony can't catch up to us.
You
Okay.
don't like the yellow tree direction.
I'd like to roll insight on the hop on 1 foot. Yep.
Okay. So everybody moves along. Are you all keeping pace with Lazuli?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Otto.
That's just my
Harmony's gonna way
normal.
after them and just be like, enjoy the sights.
All right.
If everyone is is going slowly, that's actually my average pace. Thank
We're
you for
going
being
auto
considerate
speed.
of me. Yeah, thank you. It's pretty kind of you guys.
All
You're
right.
welcome, buddy.
But of course.
So you move through. You step foot into the city. You move through sort of like a stone archway. The color is very like yellowed stone. It's very beautiful and very like well designed architecture. As you reach the edge of the cliffside, you can see that these structures, these buildings, are built into this mountainside, going all the way down to the edge of the water. The water itself looks very still. There's just waves slowly, calmly rolling in along the beaches down below. And the water rolls almost directly up to a set of stone stairs. You can see you're at the top of that stone staircase. So you're gonna keep moving through into the city. You're gonna follow the directions down to sort of like the face where you're gonna meet the beach here. I'm gonna give you an image. Everything's sort of very shadowed. You hear a lot of activity, but you don't see anybody just yet. We're gonna go to Harmony really quick. Harmony, how do you want to handle this quote unquote interrogation?
Harmony is just gonna look right at Bluff and be like, what are you not telling me?
He's still not like making eye contact with you. He gives like a very exasperated sigh. Like, can you just leave, please?
No, we both know each other better than that. What's wrong?
I was tired of this conversation the first time I saw you. Okay,
Well,
doing this for your dad. That's it. The only reason I'm doing this, and then I'm leaving.
what are you not telling me? And I'm gonna go right up to his face.
You want to try and intimidate him?
Yeah.
Intimidation.
Where is my intimidation? Oh, it's a -1. Okay. Alrighty. I got this. I got this. No, I didn't roll anything yet. It's just
Yeah. I know.
Don't worry, it is 3.
So he lifts that like mace that he's carrying, that sort of like wooden spiked mace, and drops it onto his shoulder. Like looks at you. Finally, like dead in the eyes, you see his like red eyes look very focused. Says to you, I got my wish in the palace, and my wish was to become a great warrior. So you're gonna want to just step off Harmony, continue on to the inn, go see your little granddaddy, and you won't get hurt out here, okay?
Well, you might be a great warrior, but I'm a warrior of a god, and I'm gonna show him my sword.
Okay, so you pull out the sword that you received from Clothis.
Yep.
He like swings his mace at it and just sort of like knocks it aside. Like, yeah, cool weapon, great. Leave, please.
Have you seen Corgixmas?
Yeah, he doesn't want to know anything about you, so just forget about Corgiximus.
How typical.
He gives another
Well,
big sigh and he looks away from you. It's like, look, I don't have time for this, and he starts to walk back in the direction you came.
why? Where are you going?
I'm going home.
Where's home?
I don't know. It was in your old palace, but now I'm homeless and unemployed because of you, so I have to go find something to do and a place to live.
What if I employ you and then you can
No.
live in the palace?
Leave me alone. He keeps walking.
I'm offering you a job.
Can you even do that?
Yeah? I was his daughter. I can do whatever I want.
You don't 100% know if that's true.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, so roll deception.
It's deception. +3. Ooh, 21.
He stops, doesn't look back at you, but he sort of turns his head. Oh, what kind of job are we talking here?
What kind of job would you like? Since you are a great warrior.
Well, I was the prince's personal guard. I want to be the commander of the guard.
Done. And I'll extend my hand.
And I want twice the pay that I had before.
What was the pay before?
Just accept or don't.
Fine. I accept.
He sort of rears his head back, turns around to face you, and spits this big glob of frog spit into his palm and reaches his arm out towards you.
Harmony will spit in her hand and she will do the same.
It's very slimy and gross as you make contact, but he gives you a firm handshake, but sort of pulls you in. He's like, "Don't screw me over again, Harmony."
I think, once is enough for both of us.
He sort of eyes you for a moment, squints, glares at you as if he's trying to judge your authenticity here, but he seems to buy it, seems to believe you. I'm going to go back to the palace. Whenever you're done meeting with Oberon, I expect my first paycheck.
I don't even know what I'm paying you.
He rustles through a bag. He drops a bag at his feet, rustles through a bag like he's digging around for something. He hands you a rolled up scroll that looks kind of tattered, kind of beat up. It's like, there's my original contact. Remember, double.
Aye, Captain.
And then he turns around and starts walking back towards the direction you came from.
All right. I'll look at the scroll. What's the scroll say?
You open it up. You see that it's clearly an employment contract with the previous prince. The first thing at the top is 3 unicorn hairs per cycle.
Where the heck am I supposed to get unicorning?
900 gold per cycle.
Okay.
Large scale accommodation within the palace.
Okay.
1 large heated pond within those accommodations.
Okay.
And last but not least, a group of 300 guards at all times under his command.
But wait, if he was just the personal protection for the prince, why would he have 300 guards?
He wants to be the guard commander.
So this is the contract for being the guard commander.
Arcana, this contract. Arcana, roll it.
Because I thought you said that was his original contract. So wasn't he originally just the personal guard?
Go ahead and Arcana roll it.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
You're good.
5.
So as you're looking at the scroll, you see every now and then there's sort of like a purple shimmer like casts through it. It turns like a dark red as it reaches the bottom. You recognize this as a fey contract, something that they share between each other within these realms. You definitely recognize the purple magic likely as that of Bluff, and the red magic is that of the previous prince, which would now be yours. You get the sense that whatever was happening is some sort of like magical alteration of this contract. These are the things that he's requesting now, which would be, if you take his word for it, double what he had been receiving prior.
Okay. Harmony will figure this out.
You want to try and find the rest of the party?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, actually, Harmony can still see Bluff, yeah?
Yes.
As he's walking away, she's gonna shout after him, "Tell Corgiximus hi."
No.
I'll give you a bonus.
He stops. What kind of bonus?
You can have your choice of whatever room in the palace you want.
I want your old room.
Done.
All right, I'll tell him you said hi. He keeps going.
All right. So Harmony will now go back to
Let me.
the direction of the inn.
You also see that sort of contract shimmer as you are stepping away, and that is now amended to include that large accommodation being your old room.
I mean, assuming that, it's gonna go to Harmony's plan, she'll just take the prince's room. So
Not a bad plan. So stow the contract and try to find the party.
yep, it is going into her bag of holding.
Okay, that didn't take very long, and they were moving very slowly. So as you enter the city, you can see them moving down the staircase towards the the lower beach.
I want to do a quick aside as like a thing.
Okay.
I still have True Sight.
Mhm.
And so Lazuli's going to be kind of looking around to see if they spot any like hidden doors or illusions.
Okay. So as you gaze around, you almost certainly some of these illusions that you see are moving about. There's clearly invisible creatures moving about within this city as well, like a good number of them. There's not much along the edge of the beach here, but as you sort of gaze further into where the city is, you can clearly see that there's just uh, just transformation magic, illusions, invisibility, all kinds of stuff going on here. You also see quite clearly a patch of what you'd understand to be magical darkness inside the mountain itself.
Oh, interesting. Okay. I will keep that
Now, I
information
believe,
for
let me double
now.
check. Yeah, you can also see into the ethereal plane here. So as you gain sight into the ethereal plane, you also see several ominous dark shadows moving amidst the creatures on the actual Fey plane.
All right. I now know these things.
Okay.
I'm not going to act on them right now.
So you reach the bottom of the staircase as Harmony arrives with her recent interaction being completed. Would you like to guide them now, Harmony?
Oh yes, I would love to guide them to the inn.
Okay. Anybody have any questions for Harmony?
How'd your chat go?
Oh, just great. I just, have to find a unicorn and some gold and, people.
You made a deal with him?
Yeah. Welcome to the wilds.
All right.
Okay.
You pick and choose who you make your deals with.
You're one for one currently.
I
Hey,
hope
at
whatever
least-
you got out of this was worth it.
I would say so. At least it's not watering a crown.
Just gonna give her a quizzical look, not
And
question it.
none of you have any idea what the fuck she means by that.
She's still pissed off about that.
Yeah, just think of that. It's not something that's going to go away very easily. Moving on.
Mhm.
Okay. So you pass on through the city. I'm going to give you a couple other pieces of artwork here. So as you reach the bottom of that staircase, you make a right-hand turn and you move underneath another large stone archway into a more shaded area of the city, and you move up the staircase on the right-hand side. As you pass into the city itself, you see a lot of these buildings are almost entirely covered in foliage and vines, and there's trees growing up everywhere amidst this city. There's just plant life all over the place. As you move towards the more central area of the city, you start to see some of its inhabitants. There's all kinds of creatures. You see what's clearly a fairy of your same species, Harmony. He's lightly armored. He just has these shoulder plates on. Very well built abs clearly on display. His wings are bright emerald green, and the bones of the wings look to be like wood, you would see branches of a tree. You pass by a woman with green hair, has a lute, obviously a bard of some kind. She has the ears of an elf, but you don't quite recognize the exact species of elf. There are several very dark blue dryad creatures that you pass by. Little green mouse-like creatures that almost look like insects. They have these bright red eyes, and they sort of look at you and click a couple times as they pass by. Most people seem to not really pay you much mind as they pass by and move through the city. Continue on forward to the end.
Yep.
Okay. So you reach an area that Harmony you know to be the markets within the city. It gets a lot darker here. You see that you're moving underneath pretty thick tree cover. There's some very gorgeous architecture within these buildings. You pass by a couple that are clearly built into or out of trees. And these structures are very large. They're still connected to the tree itself that grows up above the buildings. There's some upper walkways and pathways linked with these trees as well. These sort of yellow lit lanterns hung all over the place. There's just hundreds of them randomly scattered throughout, above you and alongside you and along the streets. You see just a large variety of creatures as you approach the area at Harmony. You also know to be the inn alongside the markets. There's a very tiny, sort of goblin-looking creature sitting outside. Do you want to enter?
Yes.
Everybody else just want to move inside the inn?
Yeah.
Okay. So moving inside, you see there's an obvious sign that says Cape Stagheart Inn. The interior itself is sort of like the exterior. I dropped some artwork in there in the channel for you. There's a lot of very magically lit neon looking wall hangings and the sort in here. You also see there, as you gaze closer at a lot of these things, they're very alive. Everything in this building is very alive. If it wasn't so beautifully pristine and well taken care of, you'd think it's like a post-apocalyptic type building. There's just trees growing in and through the structure. There's leaves growing off of almost everything. There's maybe 4 or 5 individuals in here. There's what looks to be a fairy type creature who has almost Nyxborn like properties to her. Sitting and speaking with another individual. He has a sort of black crow with these bright orange eyes. He has a very strange black substance along his face, where one of his eyes has that same bright orange glow as the bird, and his other eye is bright blue. I'm going to drop his image into the chat for you there as well. The two of them are sort of talking in very hushed whispers. They don't seem like they're trying to hide anything. They just seem like they're like being respectfully quiet, having a conversation amongst themselves. As you enter inside, there's a gentleman with white hair, very beautiful looking sunglasses. He's sort of sitting back in this massive, luxurious chair behind the bar. It's this beautiful, like, golden chair with this blue fabric. He has a very gorgeous outfit as well that sort of matches the chair. It's sort of blue and gold as well. He looks also kind of just like bored. He's sitting there drinking. I'm going to give you the image of this individual as well. But as you enter in, he sort of like gets his feet down as they were kicked up on the bar and gets up, straightens his jacket out a little bit, walks up. All right, welcome to the Stagheart Inn. What can I do for you?
Does Harmony recognize him or anybody in the bar?
I'd
Place?
say roll insight.
Building. 14?
Okay. You definitely recognize him. You get the idea that he was a friend of the Dreamwalker Prince on some level, but you can't quite put your finger on it. You remember his name to be Eskios. I will drop it in the chat. Thanks. But you can't really remember anything else about him. You get the sense that you never interacted with him very much, but he was at least an ally to your house.
Well, Harmony, were you able to get anything from your friend? Do you know why we're here?
He sort of like pushes the sunglasses down his nose as he glares at you all.
Regardless of what we were told to come here for, I think we would like a couple of rooms.
Fine. He reaches underneath the bar, pulls out a handful of keys. What kind of room do you want? Do you all want your own room? Do you want one room together?
Excuse me, why are you huffing at us?
Excuse you.
Yes, excuse me.
Sure. What kind of room do you want?
What room would the prince's daughter want?
He, at that, sort of squints. Like, leans over the table, looks at you. His eyes are, like, very, glazed over. You can tell they're almost, like, completely pitch black. He puts the sunglasses back up to his eyes, glares at you a little bit closer. Harmony?
His eye.
Oh my god! He sort of, like, leaps over the bar and, like, dives at you and gives you this massive hug. Cool with that?
Gonna stick my tongue out at Otto.
It's like, my god, you finally came home! Where's your dad? Is he here?
That's a very long story. That would require a drink.
Oh, well, come on, everybody, come on, sit down. He, like, leads you into a little bit of a lounge area off to the side.
Yeah, follow.
He snaps his fingers, and several glasses appear and just fill with sort of, like, beautiful, dark purplish wine-like liquid that you can smell is glorious. One of them sits down and drops on the table in front of each of you. Everybody gonna sit down and...
Yeah, pick it up. Inspect it. I'm assuming it does not look familiar in the least.
No.
And
like
take a
it smells like extremely inviting.
cautious sip.
Immediately you start to feel like an instant buzz. This stuff is extremely strong, but it doesn't taste violently alcoholic. It's maybe like the best wine you've ever had, like ambrosia level delicious.
Hell yeah.
Everyone's getting drunk.
Excuse me. Is there a bard playing in this bar?
What kind of music you want? We don't really have a bar, but I got a system. What do you want to hear?
No. There's no bard playing here?
No.
I think he's about to offer.
He reaches up and he snaps his fingers,
No,
and this very like calm, jazzy like music starts to appear and roll through. It's like, what else? You want to hear something else?
Forget it.
What do you mean?
Stop.
No. You're a friend of Harmony's a friend of mine. What's your name?
I'm gonna play it. I'm a bard. My name is Otto.
Otto. It's so nice to meet you. My name is Eskias. You like whatever you need. Yeah, you want to play? He snaps his fingers and the music immediately stops. Everybody
Okay.
around looks a little bit confused at the moment. They're all sort of gazing at this interaction now. Like, you want to play?
Yeah, of course.
All right.
I'm gonna play- Have you ever heard of the Titan's Bane?
Sure haven't, no.
Well, back where I came from, me and a crew just we slayed this massive dragon turtle with and I created a song called The Dawnbreaker.
Oh,
Let me show you now. And I'm
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
go.
he
Is there like a makeup stage? I'm gonna get up
So-
in there.
he
play my
snaps
song.
his fingers again, and behind him, you see the wall that leads up to the balcony above, where you can clearly see some of the rooms available. It takes shape, reforms. The tree itself almost grows out and creates this very beautiful, like wooded stage. He snaps his fingers again and sort of like whispers something into the air, and you see pretty like gorgeous golden spotlights appear and shine down onto the stage.
You have to teach me that later,
Oh,
because that's a good
And-
trick.
anything for a friend of Harmony. And he looks at you, Harmony, and he gives you a wink. You want to start playing, Otto?
Yes.
Roll performance.
26.
All right. So Otto gets up there and starts giving the most beautiful rendition of this song. I assume this is like your average bard ballad, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Eskios immediately gives you like some claps. Wow, this guy's
I don't
good.
think I ever told that story to my crewmates, since I only remembered that not so long ago when we got our memories back from Izengiri.
Sure. So yeah, you're all hearing the this ballad of Otto's, which is apparently a true story. You don't really know for sure, but according
Can
to
I
Otto,
roll insight? Dirty 20.
yeah, seems legit. Like you can see as he's playing the music, it's obviously very emotionally provocative, and you can see at least on the level that he's getting into it, it's sort of a side to Otto that you haven't seen before. It gives you the idea in a sense, like especially with your background of sort of reading personalities, like he seems legit. Like this is not something that he's maybe just making up.
Love that for Otto.
Uh, continue playing, Otto. You're just gonna get up there and keep going.
Yeah.
Okay.
Until I pass out, because I'm very tired.
So Eskius moves back and sits down. He's like, "Wow, this guy is good. Harmony, you've got a good-looking group of friends here." He sort of lifts his sunglasses again and sort of looks at each of you one at a time.
Otter just winks at Harmony right now after he hears that.
Harmony will make some obscene gesture towards Otto.
Oh God.
You know.
So he sits back down. He leans back. He starts drinking as well. And all right. Well, what can I do for you, Harmony? Why are you here?
Long story short, the prince is dead.
He like coughs and spits his drink. Like, Excuse me?
Long story short, the prince
Yeah,
is
yeah, yeah.
dead.
I heard you. What are you talking about?
I will show him my ring.
He immediately stops and like puts his strength down. You see his mood immediately changes. Like he's very somber now. Like when?
Not too long ago.
I wonder if he looks off to the side and thinks for a moment. But
That's why I'm here.
does Oberon know?
I'm going to find out.
You know, he posted a couple heads up on pikes outside the entrance to the palace. A very sort of recent thing. He's not really ever done that before. I wonder if that's related. He whistles for a moment, and you see this little creature sort of hop up and scamper off the balcony and down to him. Very like golden little creature. It has these little black, wispy, inky like substances that are sort of flowing around it. Uh, Hops down to him. He's like, "Hey," and he gives this very like strange language whisper that you don't really recognize. Harmony, you recognize it as being something among the Fey creatures in this environment in this area. Sort of like a
Okay.
mystical dialect that's only really spoken around here in this area in your grandfather's kingdom. The creature like sort of nods and chirps a couple times and then very quickly disappears out a window into the city. Like I'm sorry, Harmony. That's honestly very shocking for me. I'd not heard a thing. Everything's just been normal here. What
I would
happened?
assume that's to be expected.
What happened?
Harmony doesn't really know this guy, right?
You don't have a
Like
like
she does, but
you have a little bit of memory and clarity that you know that he was a friend to the prince on some level, but you can't remember exactly why. You remember him. You remembered his first name in the least, but aside from that, you can't really pull anything else out. Obviously, he seems to know you, or at least is giving the impression.
can I, is it insight that I'd have to roll to see if there's any sort of anything other than niceness?
Sure.
I don't know how to put it in words besides
No, I
real.
understand. Yeah.
Oh
5 check.
shit, I just dropped everything. Yeah. But it's a 20. So
Okay.
27, but I mean it's a 20. Like
Um.
not 20.
So, sort of like taking him in, you can clearly see that he obviously is speaking to you and communicating with you like a very close friend or almost family member. Um, like he's treating you with more warmth than you're used to, obviously, um, than you know have experienced recently from anybody probably aside from like Macy's. Um, he doesn't seem like he's hiding anything or lying. He seems obviously he was very sort of bored initially, and then very jovial at the sight of you, sort of recognizing you. You note that in the time that it took him to recognize you, he probably hasn't seen you in a very long time. Um, then maybe you've changed on some level because it took him a second. Aside from that, when you mentioned the death of the prince, his mood changed immediately to like very morose and very sorrowful. He doesn't seem disingenuous.
Okay. So what Harmony is going to do is she's going to, because of her current company, she's going to go right up to where his ear is, so then that way he can only be the one that can hear it, and say that it was Keranos and Heliod.
When that happens, you see very clearly behind the sunglasses the blackness sort of drain from his eyes, and he's got very beautiful green eyes underneath it. But it's the first time that you've seen his irises take place, and you see sort of a look of shock and immediate fear on his face. He leans back in and whispers to you as well. It's like they shouldn't be able to penetrate this realm. How did they? How?
I'm just going to shrug. I was too late.
He leans back again and he takes another big swig of his drink. So this is very worrying. Does your grandfather know any of this?
No, I just arrived in the city.
And your friends, who are they?
They are companions that I've been traveling with. I can
And
trust them as far as I can throw them.
do they know all of this? This is like sort of being whispered, so you guys are,
Yeah.
the rest of you are sort of being kept out of the loop here for the moment. Unless anybody
No.
wants to try and listen in.
Lizzie would.
Of
Uh,
course,
you-
Lizzie would.
You can perception.
Five.
You lean in, you try to very nonchalantly do it, but yeah, you can't quite make anything out. Um, Ashi and Obrick, are you guys doing anything at this juncture?
I'm just chilling.
Okay.
Yeah, just sipping on whatever that drink is.
Enjoying the drink? Okay. So Eskios at that, so he looks even more worried now. You are going to speak to Oberon, yeah?
I have no choice.
Did he summon you here?
No.
I know
I was
you left in such
advised
a
by my
hurry.
father. Well,
I never
that's
expected to
the
see you
other
back
issue.
here.
Well, come to find out, everything was a lie, and I was kidnapped.
He immediately looks very concerned. I don't even think the prince knew. He thought you left on your own. Are you're sure about this?
That's what he told me right before he passed.
That's so strange. He was very upset when you disappeared. He thought you'd left. He said you'd had some sort of fight.
What kind of fight?
I don't know. He sort of fell into his cups pretty quickly when he arrived here, not long after. But he was clearly very upset, more upset than I'd ever seen him.
Did he mention a letter?
No. He just said that you'd gone and you needed more than what was provided here. He didn't really get into it. I assumed, I know you didn't really enjoy the wilds very much while you were here,
Does
but
anybody?
I do. But I understand what you mean. But what do you know who kidnapped you? Was it these gods?
Somewhat. Um, they shouldn't have been able to get to me. The people that did.
Can I help you at all?
I'm gonna procure Bluff's list.
Okay.
I need this and an audience with my grandfather.
He looks at the list. He's like, Harmony, what the hell is this?
It's a promise I probably shouldn't have made. But I do need this.
Well, he looks it over. He looks at your ring. If you have the ring, you have the possessions of the prince, so everything is yours now. If you
Yeah.
travel back within your realm, this should all be within your power to produce.
Oh. Beautiful. Then I don't need help with my list.
He sort of he squints at you. He's like, "Are you okay? Do you?"
I don't know if I can trust him still.
Okay.
I feel like I should, but I don't know. What would Macy's do? You know what? I will tell him. I don't have all of my memories.
Maybe I can help with that. Okay, look. I will... He leans back and he thinks very deeply for a moment. I'll set up an audience for you with your grandfather. He's not gonna like it.
He's never liked it.
I don't know what you remember or what you don't, but the two of you were never on the best of terms. Do you remember the Otherworlders?
The what now? The
You,
Otherworlders?
your father took in travelers, individuals that ended up here out of place and hid them from the gods. Your realm was almost entirely designed for that. Sort of stashed them within dreams, within the realms here, and used his magic to hide them from the Pantheon in Theros. But they're others from your origin. You don't remember any of this?
I do, a little bit. I didn't want to believe that guy.
Okay, look, I need time to prepare, but I can help you with your memories. You should all stay here for the night. He looks to the rest of the group finally, sort of speaking up. Stay here for the night. I'll see if I can arrange audience for you in the morning. And I'll prepare something to help with your memories. But I'm going to have to speak to some people in town. Otto, you're still up there jamming?
As soon as he says that, I stop and I retire to my room. I'm tired.
You don't even have a room yet.
I'll find one.
Otto's been hitting the drink really hard here already.
Before we go any further, though, don't spread any information in regards to my father.
I won't say a word. I promise you. Your father meant a lot to me, Harmony, and so did you. You can trust me.
This is how Harmony dies.
She finally learns how to trust. It's gonna kill her.
Yes, it is.
Not capable of it.
He sort of gets up. He obviously, to the rest of the party, like he looks obviously very concerned and worried now. But looking back at Harmony, the rest of the party, he sort of like quickly shakes it off, puts on a very jovial face, at least. So obviously the group of you don't know exactly what was discussed with him and Harmony, but it was obviously pretty heavy, and he's now trying clearly to move past it. All right, well, yeah, sorry about that. I haven't seen Harmony in such a long time. Let me get you guys some accommodations. You just all want one room? I can make sure you have private areas within the room.
Yes, please.
Okay. He moves over behind the desk, grabs a couple things, snaps his fingers again, and you can see the upper balconies. There are other creatures moving about up there as well, and the rooms and walls are sort of changing and reforming. And a door appears in the central area of that balcony. He sort of notions to it. He's like, yeah, right up there. He points over to the side. Stairs are right here. Head upstairs. The room is entirely yours. It's entirely private. Yeah, rest. If there's anything else you need from me, let me know. I'll arrange something, and hopefully we can get you an audience in the morning.
I appreciate your assistance.
Yes, thank you.
He looks to you, Harmony, as well. So if you have the time, you should seek out Amila. Do you remember?
Harmony's just gonna nod.
Like a yes or a no? Not.
She's gonna nod, but her face is just gonna be like a what the heck?
He sighs. Look, it's Amila's Magimart, and he sort of very quickly like scribbles down directions on a piece of parchment that he has at his desk, hands it to you. She'll remember you. If you don't remember her, maybe you will when you see her. But she can give you some more information on the Otherworlders in the conservatory, okay?
Okay.
All right. Either way, the news is grim, but it is good to see you, Harmony.
It is good to see you as well.
I'm glad you remember me at least.
Well, had to remember somebody, right?
He falls back into that big lounge chair behind the bar. His cup immediately refills, and he just sort of loses himself, obviously in thought.
To the room.
Okay.
To the rooms.
Everybody comfortable heading
Question.
up? Sure.
A while ago, when Harmony discovered that she had the Identify spell, she sat down basically in the middle of the deck during a battle to do that. Did we see that?
Yeah, you all she was behind you as you were fighting, but you all obviously saw Harmony plop down in the middle of that fight on the deck of the vessel before you had approached the Theros. You were all fighting undead. There was a battle between gods up above you, and Harmony plopped down to investigate a blade.
I thought it was my heart.
Oh, it was your harp. That's right. It was your harp.
Yeah, it
I'm
was
sorry.
my heart.
It was the
Yep.
harp. And would we have known, that might be Identify magic?
Yeah, I'd say. I mean, I think you saw you. Did you have your true sight? No, you didn't have true sight up at that point.
No,
This was
I did
before.
not. That was quite a ways before.
I mean, you were also in combat, so I don't know if you would have recognized exactly that as Identify magic, but she was obviously focused
I
on
was
the
not
harp.
helping.
Yeah. So you can inquire about it if you'd like.
Yeah. Once we get up to the rooms, Lazuli's gonna ask Harmony if she has a moment.
Okay. So yeah, you pop into the room. It's a very beautiful room. You notice the essence of it is very Victorian. I'm going to pop some artwork into Discord for you.
Ooh.
I love that new feature with the Discord images. It's so nice. But yeah, it's very Victorian in nature, but there's also still vines and foliage growing up and throughout. It smells just beautiful. This area, this whole city itself has just smelled very alive and woodland and gorgeous. It's a very pleasant place. Very much more so than any of the places you've been in recent memory. But yeah, you all step inside. There's the first image. There's an alcove for each of you with a magically enchanted sort of privacy screen that blurs anything that's going on inside. There's one for each of you, and there's very stocked kitchen area. Looking around there, you see it's sort of all fresh fruits and vegetables and that sort of thing. There's also what look to be stations for enchanting. There's lots of tomes on magic, almost alchemical ingredients as well. The room seems very well stocked for almost any accommodation that might be required.
Any hidden doors?
Not that you can see, but you can clearly see illusion magic throughout the building.
Yeah, especially with the alcoves doing
Yes.
that thing. Yep.
Did you want?
Harmony, if you got a moment.
Harmony will look up and down Lazuli and be like, "For what?"
Jesus.
I would like your help with something if you're willing to give it.
Potentially. I will gesture for Lazuli to walk ahead somewhere.
Yeah, we can, if there's a little sitting area.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to hide anything.
Harmony's just gonna look at Lazuli.
Did I see a little while ago that you were able to kind of figure out what magical items were? And are you able to do that again?
Potentially.
I'm going to take out the emissary blade and lay it across my lap. I'd like to know what this is.
That's a sword.
I think it's going to be a sword that's going to be a problem for us, but it could potentially help us as well.
Well, I'll help you, but it will cost you at some point.
At some point, what would you like of me, Harmony?
That is the blade.
Oh no. It's not determined right now. It's when I need something.
I'm going to reserve the right to deny you twice.
Then no deal.
The bargaining.
Harmony's just gonna sit with her chin in her hands and like, just propped looking at Lazuli.
Are the rest of you observing this, or did you move on to your rooms? I assume Otto went and passed out.
Harmony's gonna spit in her hand and
Ashi and Oprek, are you observing this?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
whenever I
Okay.
want something.
You can't ask for something that's going to endanger me. Is that a
I
fair
would-
deal?
Alright, fine, deal.
I'll shake her spit hand.
Nope, I whip my hand away. You must spit.
I
Your
will
hand.
spit in my hand and shake her hand.
Harmony hasn't washed her hands since the frog spit, so you still feel a little sticky nature to her palms.
Lazuli will make a face.
Harmony's just gonna start laughing. Alright, give me the blade.
All right. You're gonna give it back, yeah?
If you want her to identify it, you gotta give it to her.
Yeah, I have to be touching it.
Yeah, you have to be touching it, but that doesn't mean I can't also be touching it.
This is a trust exercise, Lazuli.
It sure is. I trust that you're going to give it back. I will give her the blade.
Okay.
And I will be nice and cast polymorph. No, I'm kidding. Identify on it.
Okay. So immediately, as you grasp the weapon and use the spell, you get the same sort of foreboding sense that you got when you were within the underworld. The weapon itself is obviously of Erebos. It is a blade sort of manifested for emissaries of Erebos, the god of the dead. There's a few characteristics to it that stand out. The weapon itself is very intimidating. You get the sense that it has the ability to frighten sort of anybody that might come in contact with it to a point of like debilitating fear. The weapon itself is also very demonic. It has a bit of a sentience to it, and it's bound to somebody or something. You can't tell exactly what, but it's not Lazuli. Another thing that stands out about this is you get the sense that whatever it kills has a distinct effect on the weapon and on the holder. There's both a positive and a negative effect to it. You get the sense that whatever this blade strikes down and kills would become a thrall of the wielder.
So like it doesn't actually die.
Right. It dies, but it is basically reanimated and must serve the wielder as a thrall. You also get the sense that there is some sort of negative effect on the soul of the wielder of the blade that does this as well. But you can't identify exactly what that is with this spell. The last thing you sense is something watching you. Immediately as you sort of identify the blade and this information is revealed to you and you understand its purpose and its meaning, you can feel whoever it is currently bound to sort of gazing at you. And for a moment, as you focus on it, you can see the clear face of the Erebos priestess, the emissary that you'd fought previously who had aligned with Galen. And you get the sense that she may be able to see you currently as you hold onto this blade and use your magic to identify it.
Isn't she dead?
Is anything dead in the underworld? Or is everything dead in the underworld?
True.
And you've seen Galen sort of return a couple times now, so you get the sense that very likely an emissary of Erebos as well. Him sort of being in that same bracket likely is recreated.
Is that everything?
That is everything. I'd say
Harmony's just gonna look at Lazuli then.
I'd give
and
you
be
also that the weapon itself, as an essence of Erebos, you get the sense that it's something that Heliod would fear and would additionally greatly harm Heliod or champions or emissaries of Heliod himself. It's a very sort of dark, shadowy blade, and its essence would be harmful to anything that exists within the light. Do you share all that information?
Harmony is going to look at Lazuli and say, "You don't want to use this blade," and just hand it back to her.
Can you tell me more than that? I did give you a fairly significant promise in return.
Look at his learning promises. If you use it, the Erebos priestess will know where you are.
I'm not sure I need to even use it. When I first picked it up, I could feel someone watching.
How to get rid of that thing then?
You don't want to share any of that information, Harmony?
It could potentially come in handy at a certain point, so I wouldn't mark it as something to get rid of.
Can you tell us more?
I'll point at oh no, I don't know. What's
Obrick?
Obrick? Thank you.
I knew
Point at
exactly where
Obrick.
this was going.
Ernie's gonna point at Obrick and be like, it would kill him.
Well, yeah, swords do that.
No, it would kill him.
Do you emphasize it?
I'll emphasize the him portion.
Take that
Because
as
of
you will.
Heliod.
Harmony shrugs.
Oh, it's such a little shit.
So you sent me the information on this weapon before for like the
basic information, yeah.
meta stats. Yeah, just like the outside gameplay mechanics.
Yeah.
Do I have any idea about any of that?
No.
Cool.
You can insight Harmony.
I mean, sure. I know that she's holding back.
You can insight versus the deception. If Harmony, you're trying to intentionally withhold this information.
I mean, Harmony is giving the information. She's just not flat out being like, it's big dick damage against Heliod.
But you also glazed over like all of the other things that I said about it.
Yeah, and also, like, I'll say you don't have to verbatim say back what Bird said. You can also say, explain how the weapon works, and that would cover it.
You can just explain that you're reiterating the things that I told you.
Fine, Harmony will huff.
And provide that information.
And provide the information.
Grudgingly. So I'd say that
Thank you, Harmony.
Amend the information that I send you, or sort of add to it, where I think I explained to you that individuals killed are sent to a cell within the Palace of Erebos.
Yeah.
That is their souls. So their souls, their spirits are imprisoned in the underworlds, but their bodies are
all right.
reanimated as a thrall under
Okay.
command of the wielder.
All right.
But aside from that, you don't know exactly how the bond with the blade works. You know that obviously it's not bonded with you, it's bonded with the emissary. You're not even sure if you could bond with it. Even just like basic thought of that, you know that to bond with something like this, you'd probably have to do something really fucked up to attune with it. Related to the underworld and most likely murder and death.
Yeah, probably.
But yeah.
All right.
Any questions about any of that information?
No, I think I'm good. I might compare, like, send you my notes later just to make sure I have it, but
okay.
I think we're good.
Yeah, I'll send you a summary of things as well.
Okay.
I'd say also, Obrek, the blade itself, like, just looking at it, it looks disgusting to you. It looks like something, like, otherworldly, and you can clearly feel, like, the demonic essence, the opposing force of Heliod within this weapon.
An evil weapon.
Very much so.
I assumed as much, yes. Well, Harmony, I know that was very difficult for you, so I will also give you a small gift. I don't carry much on me, and I'm going to give her a set of weighted dice that Lazuli has.
Okay.
Like cheating dice?
Yes.
Yeah, they sure are. Would you like them?
Harmony will extend her spit hand.
I'm not going to touch your spit hand, but I will put the dice in them.
I mean, you might as well now. You're also spit-handed.
We'll wipe my hand off. Yeah. Here you go.
I'll put it in my bag of holding.
Thank you for helping me.
You're welcome.
Okay. Anything else any of you would like to do? Any other interactions you'd like to have with members of your party? I would say also, I mean, you observed the whispered interactions of Harmony and Eskias. So if anybody wants to inquire about that, you may. Or Harmony, if you wish to exchange any of that information willingly. I don't even know why I'm asking, but... Anything?
Well,
Anybody?
Ready to fucking sleep. But I will wash my hands before going to bed.
Nobody wants to ask?
I mean, I just went through pulling teeth with you. I'm not going to try and pull another set.
Well, Lazuli's over it. But I guess Ashi or Obrek, if you wish to inquire about anything, you don't have to, obviously. If you just want to let sleeping fairies lie.
Good. Yeah.
I'm good.
Okay. So do y'all want to turn in and go for a long rest?
Before I do that,
please.
after closing my little curtain partition, I would like to investigate my dagger.
Okay. You want to spend some time during your rest to check this dagger out?
Will it impact getting a rest?
No, it won't.
Okay,
How do you want to do
yes. Well, I still have true sight, so if there's any hidden little doors, it would have to be magical. So if it's just physical, it won't show up. But I'll inspect it for like any kind of hidden components. Does anything twist, move, come apart?
Actually, with this, you do notice a faint magical glow within the blade of an enchantment you don't recognize. So moving around with the blade, you sort of fiddle with it. You know, twist the hilt. You get the sense that there is something within there, but sort of like physically manipulating it, you can't quite find a way to do it.
All right.
Anything else you want to try?
How does attuning to things work?
Depends on the item. Some need to be attuned in specific locations, like if it's related to a god or a goddess or any particular power, you might have to find a focal point of that power. So like if you were attuning a weapon that was tied to a god, you would likely have to go into an area empowered with their presence, so a temple of some kind. Like if it were a Heliod imbued weapon, you would have to sort of attune to it in a temple of Heliod. A lot of elvish weapons as well, if they're like of elvish origin, you might have to find a place of that specific species of elf's power to attune. So it really depends
so it's
on the
not
weapon.
just like connect to your feelings and see if you can
I'd
connect with the
say
weapon.
roll history for this one.
It's gonna be a flat roll. 11.
I'd say for this particular blade, you know of your memories of your handlers and a lot of the individuals within your organization. Your best guess would be that to attune to this weapon and gain further insight, you may have to look into or think about who they might have been aligned with, be it a god within the pantheon or a power within the city of Melitus. You have any thoughts or ideas about that?
I mean, there's one obvious thing with the director, but I don't know if that would be like the same caliber.
Given that information, what would you like? Do you think there's a specific place that you'd like to try to attune to the weapon?
Not in the Feywild.
Yeah, sure, not in the Feywild. You can also DM me if you'd like.
Okay, put a pin in this. I will stop talking and let other people talk for a while.
So yeah, DM me and we can go back if you have an idea or a thought about what that might be.
Okay. I take my long rest.
Okay. Ashi, anything you want to do before or during your rest?
I don't think so.
Okay, so I'm gonna throw you something here. Roll. Well, I don't know. You don't have to roll anything. So the individual that I had posted earlier, with the crow.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You notice anything particular about his face?
The eyeball. It
Not
matches the crow.
talking to you, Harmony.
Fine.
It's a little veiny.
Recognize the material of those sort of veininess.
Yes. If I open up the image and actually zoom in, yes.
Something I'd say sort of as you're like laying down to rest, you sort of strikes within you that you definitely recognize that and realize that it is likely connected to the same sort of symbiotic presence or force that had taken your family from you.
Okay.
Good on that, or anything else you'd like to do?
This is the middle of the night.
Sort of. You're in the Feywild, but you're like if you wanted to pursue it before your rest or like during the 8-hour period of your rest, you can, because you don't actually have to sleep for the full 8 hours. You can, for most of it, yes, but you can take a little bit of that time to pursue this if you'd like.
Okay, yeah, I do want to do like my rest to take the full rest, but I do want to go searching for this person.
Okay. Do you want to go? Like you can do that for like a couple hours before you pass out and still have your full rest. So do you want to leave the room and see if he's still out there?
Yes.
Okay.
Like I should tell people where I'm going first.
I'd say the only person who might not have turned in yet is Obrek. Obrek, are you still outside of your room, or did you turn in for your rest as well? Or did you have anything that you wanted to do?
Ulrich would have turned in for his rest by then, probably.
Okay.
Harmony hasn't turned in.
Okay, so Harmony's still out there.
Okay, I'm gonna tell them that I saw something suspicious on a patron in the bar, and I'm going to investigate.
Harmony's just gonna say, "Don't make any deals."
Do you want to go with
Got it.
Harmony, or do you want to stick inside?
You know what? I'll go because I want to talk to the pretty lady.
Okay. So you both step outside the room, onto the balcony, sort of overlooking the entryway and the lounge of the inn. The two of them are still seated in the lounge area where you've been seated previously, a little further away from where you were seated. They still seem to be engaged in what looks like a pleasant conversation.
Okay, so both of them are talking together.
Yes.
God, how do you approach people?
They're just sitting having a conversation, so if you wanted to just approach and say hi, it's a good start.
Yeah, I'm
Yep.
gonna approach and attempt to talk to them.
Okay. Harmony, are you following along?
Yeah.
Okay, so the two of you make your way downstairs. It's a little quieter now. Eskios is still behind the bar. He sort of nods at the two of you. Looks a little quizzically at you, Harmony, but continues to just like sit back and drink and let you go about your business. As you approach Ashi, the two of them do stop talking as you reach them. What do you want to say to these guys?
God.
Salutations.
Harmony thrusts forward. The crow is the first one to sort of glare at you. The individual, the man with the crow, doesn't look at you. The crow is the one that's sort of like gazing at you. He sort of puts a frown on his face a little bit, and he looks to the girl. But she turns. Can we help you with anything?
I'll look at Ashi.
Um,
Remember, these are just characters.
I know, I'm having a really off night.
All good, all good. I mean, just ask direct if you want. Just be direct. You can, at this juncture, you can just ask him directly. Like, I recognize your face.
Say it's an interesting feature you have on your face. I'm extremely rude.
His scowl sort of grows a little more, and the girl looks a little like she cringes a bit.
Oh
um,
no.
he sort of like looks away from you, almost trying to hide it, and the crow sort of like steps forward and like sort of gets between his face and you. She's like, yeah, he's he's a little sensitive about it. My name's Demia. Uh, and you guys
Uh,
are.
I'm Ashi. This is Harmony. I apologize for the brashness, but I recognize the substance of it is very familiar to me.
The gentleman looks back at you this time with just that one like glowing orange eye this time. What do you mean you recognize it?
I've seen it before.
How?
I've seen it on other creatures and objects. I'm
He
curious how you came to have it.
he looks back to the girl and she looks a little scared now. I don't wish to talk about it. It's not something I enjoy remembering.
I'm sure it's not. All of my experiences with it have been negative as well.
The girl leans forward and she sort of puts an arm on his shoulder for a moment, and he seems like he calms down a little bit. Like, I'm sorry, I get quite agitated at any mention of it. Most people within town don't seem to care. Everybody here has their quirks, so it's strange that you would ask me about it. That's all. What do you want to know?
Where did you get it?
Someplace very far away from here.
Out of the Fey, the Fey realm? Is that where we are? Is that what it's
Feywilds.
called?
You can
Feywild.
assume. Yeah, you actually weren't directly told.
Yeah, we don't. I don't actually know where I am.
Nobody asked Harmony any questions.
We just go with the flow.
They actually trusted Harmony for once.
or more were just so exhausted by Harmony that they didn't even care to ask. He sort of like he raises an eyebrow at you. The girl like releases his shoulder and sits back, seeing that he's like calmed himself a bit. No, I didn't get this anywhere here in the wilds. It used to be a lot worse. I've learned to control it, but I can't ever completely cure it.
You were able to control it. That's impressive. I've seen it fully take over people.
The girl leans forward a little bit. She like puts her hand on his knee again. So yeah, he every now and then there's bad days where it spreads, but it's been good for a while. There's people here in the Cape that have helped.
Have they? I'd be curious to learn how they're able to help, because I have people that I'm hoping to help with it from it one day, if I can find them.
Roll persuasion.
Good old 6.
He seems pretty unwilling. The girl herself leans forward again. Demia. She looks at you. She says, "Are you one of them?" And he immediately like stops her. It's like, "Shh, no."
One of
She looks a little like worried. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said anything.
who?
The gentleman there with the crow sort of leans back and looks away again. It's like, don't worry about it. She shouldn't have said anything. She didn't mean anything by it. You want to insight him?
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure that they're obviously not telling me things.
Mhm.
Ooh, 24.
Okay. Yeah, like he's very, very clearly hiding information, and he seems very upset and almost scared. Not like angry, but he seems to be hiding something out of fear. The girl seems like she's trying to protect him on a level. You get the sense that maybe you're gonna have to convince them somehow to reveal this information.
Okay.
But they seem to, or at least she seemed to think that you may be something, and you can get the sense that it's in relation to the substance on his face.
Okay.
You remember all the details about what you learned about where that sort of realm is located, we'll call it, or plane?
Yeah, I think so.
No, basically what you learned is that it's sort of something that's been sealed away by the gods, having some relation to your old world.
Yes. Yeah, I know that.
And it's like a prison plane that they sort of created with connection to that old world still, and they've completely sealed it away. But it's it spills forward out into Theros as the creatures within there are powerful enough to try and break out.
Mm-hmm. Let's say for a while now, it has been my goal to put an end to the creature at the source of that, of the source of that. What do you call that? Like substance?
Yeah, I mean, you don't really have a name for it.
I don't have a name for
You can share with him the information about your family if you'd like to go that far. I don't know how much you want to reveal to him,
it.
but
No, I kind of want to like tell him that like I'm very against the creature at the source of it. Like I'm not like working for anything for it. I don't know if that's the impression that I got, that
okay.
there was something working.
Roll persuasion there.
But 18.
Okay. So he sort of he gets a little angry. You notice not particularly at you, but just at the subjects. The more you talk about this, you see him starting to get a little more frustrated about things. But he does sort of like lean forward. He begins to sort of pet his bird a little bit. That sort of nuzzles its head against his. Like it's not a subject we like to visit very often, and it's not a subject that many people know of or understand. How have you come to know this?
I've seen it firsthand.
The
Back,
Go ahead.
I was gonna say back a long time ago, there were those that were trying to summon this creature that we were able to stop, and that's how I learned about it. That was my first experience with it.
The girl Demia leans in. She sort of looks at him again, like puts both her hands on his knees. She's like, "Can I ask her, please?" And he looks away for a moment, sort of away from her, away from the two of you. She says, "Fine." She like leans in. She sort of like gestures for you to get close.
Okay, I get close.
She whispers to you, like very very quietly, looking around to make sure like nobody is listening or paying attention. Are you one of them?
Who is them?
From the other place?
Oh, I believe so. If we're thinking of the same place.
She leans back. She looks like really strangely concerned at this point. He perks up at this a little bit, sort of like raises an eyebrow. It's like, you're of my world.
Of your world, how did you know? How did you come to know this? Of like, yes, I believe so.
He sort of looks off to the side. He's like, I can't say anymore. Seek Aikilo. She can decide what to tell you.
You said seek a kilo?
Yes. She is. He sort of hesitates for a moment, is still like very carefully choosing his words with you. She remembers more than most.
Where can I find this person? Being.
There's an area within the markets. You'll recognize her. She stands out amongst the others. She carries a long blade.
A long blade.
That's the name for your notes.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely spelled that wrong. Thank you. Is there's nothing else that you are willing to tell me about what happened?
Not until you talk to her. I don't want to see anything else. But if you are what you say you are, she'll know. The girl sort of leans in. She's like, he doesn't remember a whole lot.
Understood. All right, thank you. I will seek out the Sakilo.
Harmony, do you have any input here? Or are you just sort of hanging out listening to this?
She's just hanging out listening. She is totally prepared to like offer up any sort of deal to get information, but
Okay.
get use of her spit hand, you know.
Yeah,
God, Harmony's picking up
very
some bad
sanitary.
habits.
The goal is to get as many people's DNA on our hand as possible.
Building a repository, are you?
Ugh. I want to turn towards the woman and ask, are you of that world as well?
No. I don't want to say much, but no, I'm not. I'm just a friend.
All right, well, thank you. I will seek out the Sakilo person, and hopefully I will maybe be able to help you.
He gets up. He actually like stands up and nods to you and begins to leave. The girl also gets up, sort of like worriedly. She's like, yeah, nice to meet you, and sort of like hurries after him as they leave the inn.
All right. Can I just do like a look around the room just to like be safe or anything like suspicious?
Yeah, roll perception.
Here's the 12.
So yeah, you don't see anything in particular. You look around the balconies, the other areas. There's a few individuals just sort of like sitting in here, sort of moving up and down the stairs and the balconies above. But it's very like less than half a dozen, aside from Eskios himself, sort of still sitting at that lounge chair. He has been watching you guys. You can see he's still sort of watching, but you get the sense that he wasn't like listening in. He's pretty far away.
Okay. All right. Harmony, are you ready to go back? I'm gonna head up.
Well, I have a question.
Mhm.
If I was to go look for Amila, would that count towards resting or no?
No, that would take a little more time.
Okay. Then yeah.
Okay. So you both want to head back up to the room and turn in for your long rests?
Yes.
Okay.
Wait,
Yes.
can I do it?
Do you want
Oh
to?
no.
Kind of.
What do you want to do?
Can I turn Otto into a cat?
Let's see. So, do you want to sneak into Otto's room?
Yep.
Otto, I want
Otto,
I want you to roll perception and DM me the number that you get. Harmony,
I'm
roll.
passed the fuck out. My perception will be
Okay.
0.
Okay, so
Oh shit!
Otto's
Oh no.
relinquishing. So okay, so you don't have to roll anything. So yeah, you just want to sneak into his little enclosure. You do. So you poke your head in. You pass through sort of the blurred magical barrier that seals off like the little privacy screen of this chamber, and Otto is just passed out. I assume what face first, Otto? How are you asleep in here?
Yeah, face first. That sounds like something that I would do at tired times. Yeah.
Okay.
Just do not touch my instrument.
You're asleep. You have no power here. You told me.
Both of my instruments.
You told me you are passed out, so you relinquish any opportunity to do anything in this situation. Harmony, what are you into? You see Otto just passed out, drooling on his bed, his instrument close at hand.
I would like to use my harp to turn Otto into a cat.
Okay. So you start playing the harp. It's a very quiet, beautiful tune, but immediately as you start playing it, you're not even sure how you understand how to play it. But the second your fingers sort of touch the strings, you begin playing this very light-hearted, almost Celtic kind of tune. Nothing really happens for a moment, but the room starts to glow, and you lose clarity for a moment. It just glows brighter and brighter and brighter until it's this almost blinding white light, and as it dissipates back to the dim lighting of the room, Otto is no longer there sleeping, but there is a sort of almost calico-ish cat with one paw on the on the violin.
Hold on, he cannot be a calico.
It's a cat that sort of has the color of Otto, so I'm basing it off of the art that Otto had provided us a long time ago.
Okay.
You don't get to decide what kind of cat it is. Is a cat with similar.
Calicos are females only.
Yeah, and
Okay.
It's a magic cat.
You got a problem with
Harsh.
Otto's gender right now? Otto's
No,
cat
no.
gender?
No. Continue on. I'm sorry.
It's fine.
You're right.
So yeah, it is a calico cat, similar in color to Otto. One paw just set down on the violin, still drooling. But yeah, just a normal sized cat now just laying sideways, sleeping in that bed where Otto once rested.
All right. Harmony's gonna go to bed now.
Okay. So you move off. Everybody continues through your rest. Nothing really of note of interest happens. You all go through your full long rest, waking up at similar times. Otto.
Yes.
So you awake and you feel a little weird. You get up on all fours. Feel like standing up feels kind of weird to you. You don't really understand why. You feel a little itchy, so you raise your leg and scratch your side just a little bit. Just like a normal thing that you feel like you would do. You give a yawn. You notice a bit of like a meow, sort of a sound come out of you, and you feel like,
Wait,
that's a little
is that
strange.
Is that permanent?
You don't know. So you're not. I mean, you haven't realized you're a cat yet. What do you want to do? You want to hop out of bed and move outside?
Yeah, and first I'm gonna put my clothes on.
So you move about. You reach for your clothes. You're still kind of groggy. To your best of your ability, you throw your clothes on. They feel a little baggy. You're not sure exactly why, but you want to move out of your private area.
Yes, I'm gonna grab my instruments and then I'm gonna move out.
Okay.
Right.
You
Quick question. How is he walking on two legs?
No, he's on all fours. It just feels very normal to him. For some reason, you have the urge to grab your violin with your mouth. It feels pretty natural to you too, though, and you drag it off the bed and onto the floor, and you walk out into the main area where the rest of the party is sort of just waking up and getting themselves together. And all of you just see a strangely Otto-looking cat saunter out of the room, dragging clothes that are sort of haphazardly placed on its body, also dragging Otto's violin in its mouth.
Meow.
Lizzie's gonna look between the cat and where the cat just came from. Did the curtain get opened, or was it just temporarily pushed aside?
There's no curtain, but there's still that blurred privacy screen there, that sort of magical privacy screen, so you can't see directly into the room. Everything in the
I
interior
would like
is blurred.
to open it.
I do
You just sort of
realize
pass through and
something.
peek inside.
You
Oh,
are
okay.
a little bit taller than you usually feel
Yeah.
to me.
Yeah, everything seems a little strange to you. But you're still kind of groggy. You know, it feels normal that
Yeah.
you really like crawling around, but you had a lot to drink, and it's been sort of a strange experience. So, Lizula, you poke your head into the room.
Yep.
No Otto in sight.
Meow.
Gonna go back to where it was. Look at the cat and say, Otto?
Meow.
Harmony's gonna go, "Good morning, Otto."
Oh,
And then
God.
she's gonna scratch his little head.
I'm gonna hiss at Harmony.
Harmony, did you do this?
Potentially.
Potentially.
You don't have to insight it. You all know Harmony did this.
Yeah.
Is that gonna wear off?
Of course. Everything wears off.
How long until Otto is no longer a cat?
Harmony, do you remember?
Nope.
Otto, at this point, you're realizing things are a little weird. You realize every time you try to talk, you're making like cat-like noises. Everybody, you're waking up a little more. People seem a little strange. Harmony was giving you little scritches and it freaked you out. And that hissing noise sort of drew you into the situation where you don't feel like yourself right now.
Oh, there's nothing I can do about it, I guess.
You try,
You
but
could have rolled for perception.
Nah, I was too tired for that.
What would
It's
you-
okay.
what would
I'll
you like to
carry
do, Otto?
I'll carry Cat Otto around. Harmony and this big calico cat.
Do you want to allow
I'm
that,
gonna-
Otto?
I'm gonna live a cat day, yeah? Just carry me like
Harmony.
at least do some work for me now.
You go and pick Otto up.
Yeah, with my spit hand.
Oh, God.
Still haven't washed.
No.
So it's a normal sized cat, so it's still a little like large to you.
Yeah, no, I know. I assumed it was gonna be like,
No,
where it's like those little
You're, like,
kids
holding
that
a
like
large
are
dog.
picking up those
Yeah.
giant. Yeah.
It has to be a halfling-sized cat. What do you mean?
No, I mean
It's a
cats are.
dwarf cat?
No, it's just a regular sized cat. Because it's still not exactly like a cat isn't as big as a halfling. They're smaller. You're just a regular sized house cat.
Oh my god.
How did you find that?
Yeah, the expression is so good.
I specifically Googled for it, remembering it existed.
Oh,
am
man.
I on Harmony's shoulder or something right now?
I know you can't be on her shoulder. She literally
No,
has to
you're-
carry you like a small
You're
child.
being.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of how to search for an actual accurate image.
Let's see.
Baby holding cat?
Yeah, that actually pretty much worked. All right. Wait, the cat face.
There it is.
Oh my God.
Perfect.
Oh, man. All right.
Oh my God.
Well, sure. I'm gonna take Otto's violin.
Okay.
This is gonna be Harmony and Otto all day today.
You're just gonna roll with this, Otto?
Not gonna
I'm
try
go-
and resist it.
Otto, at the first opportunity, is gonna lift his left back paw. He's gonna lick his junk, his cat junk, and then he's gonna lick Harmony's face.
Okay.
At least lick the hand.
No, you've got Otto ball hair on your face now. Cat Otto ball hair on your face.
Fine.
Oh, we'll just say crotch hair. So you don't want to resist at all, Otto? You want to just let Harmony carry you around?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So, what's the plan today? What are we doing?
Oh,
Meow.
there's a person I want to seek out.
I
All right.
need to see about an audience with Oberon. So if
Just
anybody would
you.
like to, well, I will open the invitation to all of you. So if you would like to go meet Oberon, you're more than welcome to come with me as long as we've secured an invitation
I think it'd be
to an
good if we
audience.
stuck together.
It's okay. I'll have Cat Auto and I'll scratch his little head.
Do you
Yes, I
know
agree that we should stick
when?
together.
Yes. Yep. Let's definitely stick together. Do you know when your audience is?
No, I need to go and speak with Eskius.
So do y'all
All
want
right.
to step outside and try to find SKS?
Let's start there.
Yep.
All right. So you all you leave. You step out onto the balcony. A little more lively here. You immediately notice the presence standing at the foot of the stairs in a very guard-like, official, like straight-back stance. This sort of gorgeous fairy. They've got this like sort of blue gold essence surrounding them. Their wings are these beautiful white golds. I'm going to post an image. Put them in here for you. Just standing at attention at the bottom of those stairs.
Is he looking at anything in particular?
Straightforward, not looking at anything at all. Just awaiting something at the bottom of the stairs.
Well, let's go down the stairs.
Does Harmony recognize this fairy?
Looks very familiar, and you notice the coloration is similar to the House of Oberon,
All right.
but you don't actually like physically recognize them. Everybody moving on down the stairs.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. As you do, the fairy immediately gives like a curt sort of stomp and raises a salute. Without looking directly at you, it's Princess Harmony.
Yes.
Your grandfather awaits.
Lead the way.
Would you all follow me, please? And they sort of move out towards the front door of the inn. Very like curt official march like motion. Everybody following along?
Yes.
Okay. Eskios sees you as you pass. He gives you a little nod, Harmony, sort of mouths good luck.
I will nod back.
He
And
looks a little
smile at him.
quizzically at the cat. Looks at the rest of the group and looks a little doesn't quite understand.
It's I'll mouth at him. It's okay.
He gives you a smirk. A little like bit of a knowing smirk. Um, moving on, following this fairy.
Yep.
Anybody want to do anything inside the inn before you leave, or just follow along?
Just follow along.
Oh, along.
Okay. So you make your way out into the town. You move out of the area that's like sort of that thick tree cover. You walk through the city for a good 5 or 10 minutes. You pass quite a few locations. Everything looks gorgeous in this city. Again, most of it is very floral and grown over. You start to notice as you exit the area of like thick tree cover as the city becomes brighter. There are what look to be tree villages, and you see creatures that look to be Arakoa and other sort of winged creatures like fairies flying about above, interacting with these structures in the trees far above you. Do you want to do anything along the way within the city, or look for anything in particular, or do you want to just follow along with this guide?
I guess Lazuli will ask, is this audience right away, or is there time before we go?
The king awaits you.
So right away.
Continues just marching. Doesn't ever look at any of you. Very task-driven, obviously.
Ashi, do you know where this person that you wanted to meet is?
They should be in the market, but we might have time afterwards.
Assumedly, yeah.
Assumingly,
All
I
right.
don't see, unless something terribly wrong happens, we should be able to go after.
Yeah, we should.
There's nothing that would indicate that you would be held from
Yeah, that's
anything.
like right. Exactly.
Okay.
But also seem positive because we're going to see one of Harmony's relatives, which hopefully is a positive thing.
Okay, so just keep moving on.
Yes.
Okay. As you continue forward, the area becomes a lot more misty. You see that you're approaching a very large bridge. And you exit sort of the main area of the city. You can clearly see the palace above and ahead of you. Drop some artwork here for you. It's like one of the most beautiful views you've ever seen. There's clearly what looks like a vast bay behind the palace that leads into these massive waterfalls that cascade down into the water surrounding it halfway or so up until the area that's more land structured where the city begins. Underneath the archway is a very long bridge over what looks like an endless dark canyon below as you pass over and sort of look over the side. The area itself is just gorgeous. There's all kinds of creatures flying above, to, and from the palace. There's hundreds of birds of like different colors, different species and origins you've never seen before traveling about. As you move along, go ahead.
What's the security presence like?
I was just about to. There's several guards in pairs for the most part, standing in several locations throughout this bridge. They all give curt nods to your guide as they guide you along. You also notice up above in the air several armored guards, sort of similarly garbed to your guide, with spears and blades, sort of flying about patrolling. Obviously, it seems like the canyon area is especially protected. Anybody want to do anything at this juncture or continue on?
Gonna pretend to hold Otto over the edge.
Really? Because I'm going to make you roll for that.
Oh, then no.
Okay. You sure you trust Harmony, Otto? You do have claws, so if you ever want to use them.
Sketch the little face fingers. True. Although I don't think this would be the place to do that.
So, everybody else good? Keep moving?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Continue.
Okay. So you continue on. You arrive inside the palace itself, which is obviously very large. There's what looks to be a large pool of water in the central location of the palace beyond the first structure that you move into, which is very clearly like a more guards barracks location. There's a massive portcullis gate that's ordained in that sort of teal, greenish, blue, and gold coloration that you see on the guard's uniform as well. And that coloration continues on throughout the interior of this palace. Behind the first structure is this large lake, sort of in this central area. You can see as you exit the barrack structure and continue forward and up a hill around to your right hand side, which leads to the probably like more majestic looking building here with them amongst the palace itself. The lake itself leads to a waterfall that falls down off to the side into the canyon as well. You notice swimming amidst that lake quite a few different creatures, aquatic creatures. You see, like the sort of frog-like guide that brought you in. You see other creatures of his similar form, but they're much smaller. You also notice merfolk, triton, several other Fey species that you don't recognize as well. Harmony, you recognize them a little bit, but you can't quite remember exactly what they are. But you know that most of these species are aligned with Oberon on some level, and that he's struck peace with most of the surrounding Fey nations around his own territory and his own kingdom. And a lot of those species from within those realms sort of intermingle, and they pass borders in between quite often and quite peacefully. So it's not abnormal to see a lot of different Fey species here amidst Oberon's palace or his kingdom whereas other areas of the Fey Realm you know to be quite different and sort of close borders. You continue on forward, moving through the palace. You reach a very massive, almost 100-foot double door. The area itself, underneath the door, you see these sort of like spider-like vines, very tightly clung to the floor, gripping out from underneath the door out into the hallway in the chamber that you're standing in. The door itself has more of these vines growing up alongside of it, which is beautiful adornments of flowers of all kinds and shapes and colors. The guard sort of gives a quick stomp and turns on their heel and stares forward. Just doesn't even like beckon or direct, stares directly forward, doesn't look at any of you. Inside, he waits. Harmony,
Look at
you recognize this area very well. Sort of as you arrive here, you remember this. You don't really have very many good memories of this specific place. You start to remember more of the conflict that you had with Oberon, sort of the lack of acceptance for you, almost.
Okay.
What were you saying, Lizelle?
Well, I'm gonna go through.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say go through.
Okay.
Let Harmony lead the way.
So you push the doors open, and immediately as you enter, the doors being as large as they are not heavy at all. You're able to just push them right open. They slowly sort of creak. The interior is almost like you're in a massive dark wood. It's very dimly lit. Towards the back of the room, about 200 feet away from you, amidst just trees that look ancient sprouting up around you, covered in moss and flowers of all kinds, with candles sort of lit up amidst their branches. A very bright light with what is clearly a throne. I'm going to give you the image of what you see back there. Sort of a very large, antlered individual. Harmony.
Also, Otto's walking now. Otto's on
Otto's
his
walking.
own.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you set Otto down, Otto the cat. The throne itself, there's almost like constant falling leaves around it in probably 30 or 40-foot radius. As they touch the ground, they are absorbed into the roots of these trees. There's a clear pathway that leads right up to the throne. Looking about, it doesn't look like you're inside a room at all. It looks like you're in the middle of the woods. It's very dark, creepy, like wood. But it does feel very peaceful in here. Do you all approach?
I'm gonna walk towards that throne as a cat.
Okay. So, Cat Otto leading the way. Everybody moving forward?
Yeah, I'm gonna stay a step behind Harmony.
Okay.
This is your thing. You're the leader of the pack right now.
Would Harmony remember how to actually address him though, like properly?
Give me another insight roll. I'll give you another one here.
I have to do math.
Sure. Simple math.
23.
Okay. You remember that there was sort of a decorum that the prince used to follow. Very respectful kind of decorum. You remember being very upset that his father never seemed to really appreciate the respect that was shown. At least not when you were around. But you do remember he would just move through silently, kneel, and await, with his head bowed, awaits the king, his father, to address him.
And that is what Harmony will do.
Okay. So you fly up to the foot of the throne. His face is still like very shadowed. You can't quite see it as he sits back between these trees with sort of very bright, almost blinding light behind this throne. Do you all walk up and mimic Harmony's actions?
Yeah, I'll follow Harmony's lead.
No.
I mean, you can.
Just a little meow meow do.
I, you know when the cats are like You're on the table and the cat is motioning as if it's gonna jump on the table.
Yes.
I'm basically on the floor doing that as if I'm gonna jump on top on that throne.
Do you want to jump on the throne?
Yes, I'm a cat. That's what I want to do. I want to climb things up.
Okay. So you Otto just hops up onto the throne. The king makes no gesture or anything towards you. Do you just want to sit up there?
Yes, I'm gonna face them as if they're bowing to me now.
Doesn't like
And I start licking my paw.
very still and silent. You do hear very like irritated breathing though coming from the king. Everybody else, Obrek and Ashi, do you both follow Harmony's actions?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So as you all, aside from the cat, kneel respectfully, there's sort of a drawn out silence, almost 30 seconds plus at least, as nothing really happens. Finally, the king slowly gets up off of the throne and approaches. His face, he's very old. He's got this like crisp white hair. The leaves start to swirl around him as they sort of pass down from above and latch onto his body and sort of form most of his clothing, which is very floral and petaled with what looks to be actual flowers. I'm going to give you an image. He's got very bright blue eyes. But you can tell he's very well aged. For a moment, he just sort of looks down at the group of you. Finally, lifts a staff, very gnarled, Rudy-like staff, from the side, leaned up against the tree next to his throne, and clacks it to the ground. Just rise.
I'll rise.
Specifically looks to Harmony. It's been some time.
Yes.
And why now have you returned?
Do you not know?
He seems very angry right now. Like he's like you can tell that he's almost holding back. Almost like he wants to lunge at you. Like he's very, very upset. Like, do I know that you and your kind got my son killed? Yes, I know. Anything
I mean, this is a family affair.
Lily's hands are up. Harmony.
I had nothing to do with that.
He gives a very angry scoff. Ugh, you had nothing to do with it. The fact that he harbored your lot, that's what killed him. You killed him. You may not have wielded the blades, but you are the reason.
And you were the one that failed to protect him.
He gives like very supernatural like howl. I need all of you to make dexterity saving throws except for Harmony.
Wait, me too?
Yes, you too.
Oh man! Well, why would you attack me?
What's Otto's cat stats?
His
Here,
normal stats?
No, they're not.
Question
They're
mark?
not his normal stats. Here, I'll send you the stat block.
Why are you being hostile to a cat? That's fucked up, old man.
You can't talk.
I know.
Here is your cat stat block.
Uh,
I got an 8.
I got a 9.
Got 7.
7, 8, 9.
And Otto?
wait a second. I'm gonna roll a d20 and add 2, I guess.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's 13.
Okay. So all of you are thrown backwards. You're almost lifted off of your feet when he howls. You feel this massive gust of wind blow the leaves and everything about this chamber. Throws you back about 10 feet, all of you. Otto, you're lifted completely up off your cat feet, thrown. You do land on your feet, as most cats do, as you go skidding back into the sort of darkness of this very foresty-like chamber. The rest of you sort of land on your backs, and you feel the roots are angry at you as you sort of hit the ground and land amongst the roots that sort of splay out and form most of the ground of this chamber. They almost like want to reach out and strangle you. You feel a very like emotional aggression from them. They don't actually, but it doesn't
Would
feel
like
good.
to get up as soon as I can.
Harmony, none of this happened to you. Like this happened around you.
Right.
He leans down, looks directly into your face. And you would bring more of your worthless kind into my chamber.
My father saw fit for me to save them with his dying breath.
My son was an
You-
idiot, as is obvious.
You allowed people into your realm to kidnap me and
I
to kill your own
allowed
son.
nothing.
Then why are people coming into your realm? Why are gods coming into your realm?
He pounds the staff down on the ground, and you hear the door open in the back. That same guard that had guided you moves inside. The rest of the party, you're all sort of like getting to your feet. You see that she's carrying a couple things in her hands. You can't really make it out in sort of the dim light of the chamber. But she moves up behind you, Harmony, and she throws two round things that sort of like thump into the ground below you. Looking down, you see two severed heads. One of them adorning a beautiful golden crown, sort of helmeted crown. The other one, sort of blue, vacant eyes, still almost crackles with static electricity as it hits the ground. He looks to you. These are the champions that snuck through into my realm and killed my son. So I have done more than you. The guard immediately like gives another curt stomp, moves back out of the chamber.
Lazuli is gonna take a chance and open their mouth
Okay.
and say, "We're trying to kill the gods that did it."
Silence! Sort of shouts at you immediately, looks to you, and I need you to make an intelligence saving throw.
18.
Okay. You feel the urge to shut the fuck up. Immediately, like, pushed into your mind. You resist, sort of like you feel the magical nature of it, of an absolute spellcast. Try to force it, but you definitely feel the influence of the magic and the push behind it. Do you continue
I
speaking?
mean, that was all I had to say.
Okay. Anybody else? Okay.
Nah.
Harmony?
You are still too late.
What do you want, child? I see he's gifted you your realm. He sort of motions to the ring.
He wanted me to seek you for assistance.
He gives like a very pained grumble. His anger starts to fade a little bit. He moves back to sit down at his throne again, sort of leans forward. You can tell that there's a lot of emotion in him, very conflicted, but he's trying to control himself right now. In the very least, you get the sense that he's trying to control his temper. You're lucky that I allow you to hold his power. What do you want?
I don't
May
know. Go ahead.
I'm asking may I to him, not you.
Oh, I mean, I was just saying go ahead in terms of talking.
Lily's asking permission, I assume.
Yeah.
He glares at you again, those like very bright blue eyes, like cut right through you almost. Fine. Speak.
We were given information in regards to the gods of Theros that paints them in a worse light than they already are. And we wish to take back what was taken from us. We seek ways to fight the gods.
I do feel amongst you all the touch of the sealed realm. I assume they are all of your place, Harmony.
Yes.
And he sort of leans in very close, looks to you, and you seek revenge for my son?
Of course.
And the rest of
Why
you.
would I not?
Like the group of you know nothing about his
Yeah.
dead son. So,
So he's
it's,
asking the rest of us if we seek revenge.
yes.
Can I do insight on whether or not he'll be pissed if we don't say yes?
I mean, you don't really have to insight that. You can clearly tell that he is on a knife's edge with his emotions right now. Obviously, he's very much struggling to control his temper, but you specifically, Zully, have seen him lose it at
Yeah.
the slightest inclination of disrespect or anything of the like. So, yeah, I mean, if you say that you don't want to avenge his son, it's probably going to piss him off. But I mean, you also get the sense, I'd say, without having to roll anything, you get the sense that honesty might come into play here. So,
Yeah.
use your best judgment.
That's the play.
Also, I'd call out to Obrek, if you haven't already noticed, he's like, you don't know anything about this sealed realm or anything of this nature. This is the first that you're hearing it, and he
Right.
referred to you as one of them. So that's a thing.
We seek freedom, and Harmony is our companion. If that is her wish, then it is ours as well.
He looks to the rest of you, to Ashi first.
But do you want me to answer the question he asked
Yeah,
us?
he is
All,
glaring at you.
or
Yeah.
oh, he wants us all to individually. And the question was for, if we were.
He wished to avenge his son, which again, you know nothing about.
But we do know that he was killed by the god.
Yeah, we just found that out
Yep.
right
Yeah,
now.
okay, that's why I was like, okay. I just want to make sure I heard that all correctly.
And you can also get the sense, at least from the conversation that you've witnessed just now, that his son was harboring your kind, quote unquote, which you can assume are what they've been calling otherworlders.
While that is not our goal, it would be accomplished through our goals.
What are your goals specifically? You. What are your goals? You can like feel his judgment against you right now. It is thick.
To destroy the creature that took my family from me.
He looks away from you for a moment, but at the mention of that, you clearly like he seemed to know what you were talking about. Looks to you, Obrek, and gets a very large frown on his face. He actually stands up, roughly 12, 13 feet tall, moves over and approaches, just standing above you and glaring down. You. I sense the stench of that filthy god that sent his minions to kill my son.
I am. I believe you're talking of Heliod.
Don't speak his name in my chambers.
I am but a priest. Cannot. Well, I don't even know if I am his priest anymore. I've recently what's the term? Recently been at odds with him.
And you would see him destroyed.
I wouldn't say that, but
He immediately sort of disregards you, turns away from you. Otto, where are you right now? Otto Cat?
I got thrown behind the throne, I think. Right?
No, you got thrown forward towards the party.
Oh, forward?
Yep.
Okay, so I'm just hanging in there, around there.
Okay, you
But
just staying in
As
that
a
spot.
cat, I do not know what's going on.
You still have your own mind and sense about you.
I do?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I'm just standing there in the middle of the party.
He moves to you. This massive hulking fey king looms over you, stares at you, and your goals.
I lick my paw. I cannot answer as a cat.
Do you want to try?
You can try.
Meow.
What was the intention of that meow?
Well, the same goal that I always had in the Theros, then, to write the best adventure song ever.
So you all hear a series of meows in different tone from AutoCat.
Meow 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 meow.
Oh god. He turns back, moves to his throne, and sits down once again. He beckons to you, Harmony, to come closer.
Okay.
You would kill
She
gods
will
with this.
like this. This isn't like the everyone else, yeah?
Yeah. He gestured to the rest of your band.
Well, I assume that's why my father, your son, wanted me to seek your assistance. So that way I wouldn't have to fight gods with just this.
I'll give you my assistance, if only knowing that it most certainly leads to your death.
My death? You know what? Your son took me in and cared for me as one of his own. You are the one with the stick that decided that you weren't going to like me, and I need to know why.
He sort of, for a moment, there's a very deep sadness that you see in his face, but it sort of very quickly turns to anger. And he leans very close to you. His head is almost the full size of you, and he leans in very, very close, glaring at you. As I told him from the beginning, when he harbored you and all the others like you that dripped out of that silly, disgusting realm, that it would be his death. But he never believed me. He took you in one after another. As you appeared, he'd go and pull you into dreams and rescue you all, suck you into my realm, and he stops and is controlling his anger, but it's obviously something that he's very emotional about. But he stops himself. I knew it would kill him. I knew
Have you ever
stealing their playthings would be the death of him. I knew inevitably they'd know. I knew inevitably they'd see it and figure out what he was doing. I knew it. And now they are all going to die, and they all seek my protection. But it's not my responsibility, it's yours now.
Have you ever for a moment considered that if you had accepted what he was doing and assisted him, he would still be alive?
You think I didn't assist him?
Clearly not. You hated me.
I gave him whatever he wanted.
Then give me whatever I want. I am his heir.
How do you mean to kill these gods?
I am the hair on his head.
He gestures to all of you. All of you approach.
I'll approach.
Yes.
So I'm gonna point to Lazuli and say that Lazuli has a weapon that would harm Heliod.
Yes, but it's a weapon I would sooner find a way to cloak.
Do you all approach as he requested?
Yes.
Yeah.
AutoCat as well.
I'm gonna show him my little weapon that I got.
Yeah. Did we make a full recovery on that last rest we
Yeah,
had?
it was a full rest, long rest.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna approach too. Yeah.
Okay. As you do, he looks to Harmony and almost like rolls his eyes at you, and he waves his hand. Otto, you are suddenly thrust from your cat form, thrown onto your ass, back in your halfling form.
You always have to ruin my fun. I do mumble that to him, by the way.
He glares at you for a moment, but doesn't respond. Like, on your feet, halfling.
Okay, I get on my feet. I first I dust myself off before I get up, and then I get on my feet.
I'm gonna give Otto his violin.
Alright.
Much obliged.
He does note the blade from Clothis. Again, what do you want from me?
Insight? Advice? How do you even start to kill a god?
What was your goal? How were you going to do this before you stood before me?
Before, we had the son of one of the gods guiding us.
Who?
He had some plan, but he never shared the full extent of it.
Who?
Savas.
He leans back at the mention of that, like looks to all of you. It's like Savas, the son of Keranos.
Yes.
Savas has been dead for almost 1,000 years.
He told us about the split, right?
Yes.
Okay. Wanted to make sure I wasn't crossing wires.
Yep.
Part of him, I believe, died at that point. He separated himself and was able to leave Erebos's realm by abandoning a piece of him.
He starts laughing immediately, like just bellowing laugh, sort of roaring across the entire chamber, almost directly in your face.
I did not cast any spell on him, by the way.
He leans forward, like immediately, like stops laughing. That's not possible. One cannot split their soul. One cannot exit the underworld with any piece of themselves of this nature. This is not. It cannot be done. You've been lied
We've
to.
left the underworld.
I have, under my protection, the son of Savas. He's been in my realm since his birth.
Wait, what?
We knew he had a daughter, but we didn't know he had a son as well.
He has no daughter.
Can I insight?
Sure.
19?
Seems legit. I mean, you definitely don't get the sense that a king of the Fae would lie to you about something like this. And he's obviously very ancient,
Uh-huh.
so he's been around for a very long time. So you don't. He seems like he's being truthful with you. It seems like he was completely like blown away at this concept that you are being led around by Savas, almost as if you were lying to him. And definitely seems legit. And he gives off the presence that he knows what he's talking about.
And he had this son with Val, or was that with someone else?
You're asking him?
Yeah.
Yes, it was with Belle. She was killed along with him. Both their souls resided in the underworld, last I knew.
Well, both their souls were in Theros up until a few hours ago.
You are being lied to.
What else could they possibly be?
I know not.
Did you ever knew this Izengiri person?
He thinks for a moment at the mention of the name. I think I've heard the name amongst the individuals that my son protects. You can seek the son of Zavas while you're here within my kingdom. You can also seek Aikilo, a leader amongst them. May have more information for you about this Isengiri.
Okay. Thank you. Where might we find Savas's son?
He resides here in the palace. It's a glade hidden beneath. My guard captain can direct you. But I need to know, what was your intention with this supposed Savas?
This supposed Savas would like to break the seal on the other realm.
He, at this point now, is very interested. He's like, he knew of the seal.
Yes. I believe, at the very least, he got the information from Isangiri.
Which do you mean to break?
I did not know there were multiple.
Which did he make you aware of?
Keranos.
The, I guess I'll give you some info on the past. You were actually seeking the one in the Erebos Palace.
Oh, okay.
That's the
I
one
thought that was just a
Savas had
gate
directed you
to, like, go out.
No, that's the portal of Lathos was there as well, in that palace.
Okay.
But,
Yes, they're both there.
yeah.
There's also the seal. Sorry,
There's
I thought
also
that
a seal there,
the
yes.
seal that had Ashi's monster was one thing, and then there
No,
was
that's
like
yeah,
a
that's one
different
of the
Keranos thing.
that's one of the same.
Okay, I didn't
So-
realize they're the same.
Yeah, there. According to Isengiri, there was a way to reach the realm that Ashi's parents are potentially imprisoned within.
Okay.
And he sort of directed you to do that. But Savas's goal was to retake the Theros, use it to tunnel you back down into the underworld, into Erebos's palace, so you could break the seal. And Isengiri then had told you along the way you could also stop within that palace and attempt to assist Ashi. And then use the portal of Lethos to escape alive.
I'll tell him that.
Okay. He seems very focused at this point. It's like your intent is to break this seal.
Most of us.
Yes.
We have a newer member that I don't believe has been made entirely privy to the details.
This is all very new to me.
Yeah, Ulrich, you're picking up a lot right now. He gazes at you again, Harmony. And you wish to break this seal and avenge my son?
Yes, I wish to avenge my father.
He sort of almost scowls when you call him your father. But he leans back again. It's fine. I will provide you assistance. Seek the Moon Court.
The Moon Court.
Yeah, it's a name that is familiar to you. You know that there are pathways in and out of the Fey realm that are very well protected, hidden, and guarded. There are several courts that hold protection here within the kingdom and outside of the kingdom. And these courts all hold the pathway access to specific places within Theros. The Moon Court specifically holds protection only over one path, the path to the underworld.
Okay.
He leans forward again. My seed seers can transport you to the reflection. In the reflection, you will find the Moon Court. Seek their assistance. He lifts his hand, and in front of you, there's this like beautiful golden green coin that appears and sort of floats in front of you, Harmony. Give them this. They will know it is from me.
I'll take it and put it in my bag.
If you seek Savas's son Vicarian, report to my guard. Let them know. They can guide you to him. Aikilo, you can find around the city somewhere. She may have more information that can assist you in your travels. Any other questions for Oberon?
May I ask something perhaps slightly selfish?
What?
The weapon Harmony mentioned I had was created by one of the gods. As a fuck you, are you able to break its attunement?
Show me.
I'll show him the blade.
Release it.
As in, like, drop it?
Yeah, let go. He's basically asking.
Yeah, I'll release it.
It falls for a moment and begins to drift towards the ground, and you watch those roots very quickly grow out and snap around the hilt of the blade and then around the blade itself and start to almost strangle it amidst. The group of you all feel like the light in the room begin to dim even more. The room darkens dramatically as the blade itself starts to emit this like very magical darkness. You almost feel the pain of the blade itself as it's being squeezed, and you see the energy of Oberon start to glow from his fingertips as he just glares at it. That energy sort of passes through into the ground and through the roots and around the blade. And for a moment, everything just stops and stills, and then the roots retract and the blade just drops to the ground. It is broken.
I
Its wielder is
Ooh.
not happy.
I can't imagine they would be, but that's the intention. I will pick up the blade. Does it still feel like it has power?
It still has that same sort of dark energy about it. You
Mhm.
get the sense that the only thing that was broken was the bond.
Okay. Thank you. It's deeply appreciated.
Anything else you would ask of me?
Yes. I need to know what my father entrusted on me.
He sits down again and leans forward. I'll tell you what. Fulfill this oath to me. Succeed, break the seal, strike down the gods that sent their silly little minions to kill my son. And I'll tell you everything. You will have a place here. I will accept you within my realm. I will name you Queen Regent. And you will have even greater power than my son.
Okay. Harity looks at her hands.
Oh, God. Do you?
No, not for the king. She gives him her other hand.
he
Her non-spit hand.
he glares at you for a moment, sort of squints his eyes even tighter, but does reach out, grasp your hand.
Deal.
I don't see that you'll succeed, but I will hope that you do.
Well, if I don't succeed, then you have no family of your sons left.
Did
I
not
think
like
it's time
that.
for us to go.
Yeah, he's grown very somber and silent at that statement.
I mean, I'm just, Harmony just wants to point it out that if she dies,
I
he
think we
has
should
nothing from his son
go
anymore.
now.
Does anybody else have anything they'd like to speak with Oberon about? Ashi, this would be a point for you to ask anything that you would like about, any connections here as well.
Could we potentially, I know it's a terrible spot to pause at, but because of the fact that Skylar doesn't really feel well.
Oh, I didn't read that in chat. Sorry. Yeah, we could end here at this juncture, but I'd say before we do, is this something that you would want to? Is there anything that you want to communicate to him or ask him?
I can't. I'm sure there's something, but I just can't think of anything right now.
Okay. Okay. I'd say it is something you can come back to later if you'd like. But anybody else? I'd like to point out that you are speaking with a Fey king who is ancient and may know very many things. So if you have any any questions or anything of import that you might want to glean some information on, now's the time.
Can I ask him what he knows about the creature that I still don't know what its name is? I can
Sure.
describe it if he knows, and then ask if he knows anything about it.
Yeah, how much do you tell him about it? Do you tell him what happened with your family specifically, or what happened with you and Miaces, or?
Yeah, I can tell him kind of a brief summary of the few instances of describing what it is, where I've seen it.
Okay. He listens to everything you have to say. He clearly seems to know something about this. He doesn't seem like willing to discuss it. It's something that potentially you get the sense that even he sort of fears it on a level as you bring it up. But he does lean forward. He's like, it's not of this world. The creature you seek is a demonic presence from your old realm. Something that seeped through during the war that tried to take advantage. It's darker than anything on Theros. Its power is unknown, but I know that there are many who have been infected by it as it tries to breach its prison. Speak to others within the city, they will know more.
Thank you.
In regards to the seals, since we lost our connection, who apparently was lying boldly to us anyways, do you have any information on how to break them?
You'll need armaments that can damage the Nyx's flesh.
Okay. Would the weapon you just broke count as something of that nature, or what specific weapons would be needed?
That weapon cannot harm or damage the flesh itself. It will be painful upon striking of the one, the opposite of its energy, but it cannot kill him. You will need specific armaments, either of your old world or forged of the gods themselves. Nothing of my realm or of Theros can damage them. But if you seek the other worlders my son protected here within my realm, they may have something to support you.
Thank you.
Anybody else, anything? Otto Obrek, anything? Just to confirm.
No, I don't think I have anything for him. No.
What is the nature of what my companions are trying to release?
You don't remember your old world, do you?
Or just
doesn't.
kind of shakes his head.
Hmm. When you seek Aikilo, inform her of this. She can reveal more to you. But what they seek to release is maybe the most powerful enemy the gods of Theros have ever faced.
Is it just an enemy to the gods or to, well, everyone?
They themselves are gods. They were sealed away by the pantheons of Theros after their world was invaded. Your gods, as they call themselves, sought to steal the power within this realm. They sought to destroy the realm itself, but it turned out these entities were more powerful than they anticipated. They forced them out, broke through into the world of Theros, waged war on them. And the only thing the gods could do was seek the assistance of mortals and seal them back away within their realm. But they killed many, and they have a great hatred for the gods. And your friends would seek to release that upon them, and I would welcome it.
A good while ago, when we met this Isengiri, he sort of unlocked some memories that we had forgotten. And some of them we or at least I still cannot really make sure if it's real, if it's my memories or not. Do you know anything about this? Of suppressed memories or something of sorts?
I know you are all of that world. I can sense it on you. The memories are likely truthful. While they are not your memories, they were your memories in some other life, long ago. Others have escaped the grasp of the gods in different junctures. There aren't many, but most do not retain much memory, if any at all. Some remain more than others. What did they? What did they tell you? This Isengiri.
I honestly don't remember much.
Basically, told you that your group in particular were individuals of some importance, and the gods had taken your souls almost in imprisonment, and have been reincarnating you multiple times throughout
Yeah, I
the
remember
ages.
the memories of multiple lives and serving some sort of purpose every life. So I have some details of that, but not like a general big picture
Yeah.
of the entire party, just the ones that he said for myself. Yeah, I was just trying to see if it has any meaning towards what we're facing right now, but I don't see I don't see how that can have a connection of sorts.
Savas's son Vicarian will maybe have more information for you as well as Aquilo, but I can tell you your memories are likely accurate and truthful. Why the gods chose to retain you, particularly in the way they did, I cannot say. I can tell you they're vile creatures and they only seek power, so if they kept you alive and continued to keep you alive within their realm and not abandon your souls to their underworld, I assume it's something they're gaining from this. Anything else?
I don't think so.
Obrecht, was that good for you as well?
Yep.
For now.
Yes, for now.
Lazuli?
Uh, yeah, I think I'm good.
Harmony.
I need somebody to watch over. Is it like a kingdomy kind of thing, or like realm? What is
So
it called?
it's a realm within his kingdom.
I need a steward to watch over the realm while I accomplish the tasks.
I can send a contingent of my guard.
No, that's not really what I mean.
He glares at you again.
So you see, on our way in, I ran into Bluff. And he is now the commander of my guard. So
I don't know what you're talking about.
I just need somebody to make sure that everything doesn't fall apart while I'm away.
Well, it sounds like you hired somebody to do that, so what do you want from me?
I need another somebody to do it.
I'll see to it. If it will get you to leave my chambers, I will see to it.
I also would then need to give him the list.
Do you do that?
Yeah.
He gives like a very low growl, slams the list down next to him on his throne after gazing over it. I will see to it. If only knowing that it was the wishes of my son.
Thank you, grandfather.
He leans back to the point where his face is again like hidden with the shadows and the bright light from behind his throne. Clearly wanting to hide his face from you. But anything else anybody would like from Oberon? Ashi, we can, if you want, you can DM me like some of the things that you might have wanted to speak to him about.
Okay,
In this interaction, and between sessions, I can go over that with you.
thank you.
So I know you're not 100%. Yeah, all good. All right. So assuming we're all good, you all exit the chamber.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure, he doesn't really address you at all as you leave. He's sort of fallen into his silence, back into the light of his throne. Exiting the chamber, we'll end there. And I guess we'll pick back up next Friday if it works for Ven.
In 2 Fridays.
Well, not this Friday, but next. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
We've had this argument before.
Yeah, no, I'll do this again.
have we?
Not me and you. Not
Leftovers,
me and you.
yeah.
Leftovers have had this argument before. I'm not gonna.
I was like, really? I don't remember this.
No. You're good. You're good.
What
Just
is
unlocked
the
a memory.
argument?
Bert's still
I'm
streaming.
gonna
We don't
head
have to go
out.
over it right now.
Oh,
Well, all right. So picking up next session, though, you want to move on to speak with Savas's son.
Hell yes.
Okay. Any questions about anything?
That was cool as hell.
Cool. All right.
I'm sad that Otto is not a cat.
Well, maybe you'll have another opportunity. All right. I'm going to end the stream.